them. Osim from 95.5 FM is here in the Winneba and 90.1 FM NAP Radio in Asinifosu, all broadcasting this program right away tonight. Let's get started. And let air the 15th day of December 2021. We are barely just left with about 10 or 11 days more to go for Christmas. And then gradually, the year 2021 will close. And Komamini will be dino, ejina se. Now what we bear se means sunny na me de document we to Jamamo. Documents we talks about a review, a 20-year review of judgment debts payments in Ghana, impact, causes and remedies. Now, we share documents we are na nitia wa ne se obrabonia omai Ghana yabo every the fourth Republican Constitution. Sa obraboni we yagura yedie na etise sebe emprediasa emofra 3-year-old or 4-year-old. No, 4 years omu ni sa agro 3 years. 3-year-old children. Ni yegu ahwem na ahwea na yegu mu no. De ya ne se di ahweni bia di bia na de biegu yetrim. Nkra o aya bo muti omo so ye muti no gu ahwenem na de ahwea ne bi fofore ho e di agro ne bi ye ho sa na ye maame na be fire de ekọ no mo dware ye na ya se abetra ahwenem. This agro-diwe ne produce sadiwe. Very staggering, harrowing, explosive document. Kwanye Faswa. 29 years into the fourth Republican Constitution. And as our report we led by Wynham Center for Social Justice, woman a choice our report we into Osha 29 years out of the 29, emu 20 years and a report he capture Kwanya ya faswa sesike ya tuego millions and billions of Ghana cedis dollars ya tuni negu ya tugu ya kwa benswa ni nana is against the backdrop of judgment debt. That's a Saman Crawford. Now ubi sase e bane say and or may crooked way or make it way a third world country like Ghana ye betumi ahwe ye ho a ye nim na ye tumi di ye ho abro etise Maya sisike akwako tuego just like that. Iranum near partner high. Now, one say time I may share program yasino, me the many bring career politicians and then your institutions and so. Now, so Obekaya, President Akufo-Addo just last week, you know, on mpeniphobia umudi nkomo about corruption or cancer. Me say, hey, say you be prosecute obi, see a be say a be no. It's not my job. The very fact is all man penny no wo hwe yeso na ono no command bibia no. By the way, eno so nti wa appoint institutions bebre wo ho enti ye ba sa document we ni ye kamu asem a ai empenifo a mode da enwumanumakuo ano serious fraud office wo ho shraj e wo ho iyoko e wo ho CID office e wo ho so far 29 years science institutions way edwuma bɛn ɛna mo yɛɛ ɛfa nipa ɛnam wɔ mo so ɛma saa document way a capture these staggering figures ni na ya to skenegu sɛ sika way yɛ de ama ankorankoro yɛ de ama enipakuo bi yɛ de ama edwumakuo bi o ma to skeni na egu kwa na menemu ka say go and check our debt to GDP is escalating, ballooning. Yes, our debt to GDP ayada kama say esuye eranom adan no my Ghana mu yetumi ye ho saa. Why 29 years yembisa wanim na tratra nkonwa so hedie na mode o man sika ye mutu skenugu keke institutions am wo man nim we politicians ni giran the technocrats the chief directors, the kind of saying chief executives, yet no more to because show CID for mu investigate, serious fraud office mu investigate, SHRAD mu investigate, all these agencies mu investigate. From there, most of you mu ya mo report mo de koma hwan mo de koma friends attorney general Attorney General so trust din wo hwe wi a no so ama so as a so de koma hwanem the court ne se be trust din ni wo hwe esimesi obenten enamoso ene se sikai yetua enamoso ene se sikai ayira. So under no circumstances said obi betimi aka say report wey a capture all these staggering figures up yentimi ehu nipa kura say sika na nam na so a ye den yetua say sika no kogu ye na nso mi bisa it begs the question, how many people have been arrested? Ayai jailum, how many? None ya two sika ni na egu wey ena mu group a mo frem ho fix the country for no esa mo mama so ba ha say na mo me ye kwohwehwe sa agencies ni mpanimfo a womentimi anya due diligence and investigations. Hey, your Financial Intelligence Commissioners Agency krawa ha. Omi no obi ada. Na menimu ka say hwatwere bo entokwa a ekoso ewo Ghana's parliament. Menimu ka say ochina Thursday, omu be sore so God peninim, onyankopon peninim de be si ochina parliament. All because of the e-levy. E-levy ni so ye mobilization. Ebisi ye makwan mo mobilize. Ebisi ye makwan me ye nyiska no. Enso hwe ye ba twede ni na ye sika isu na toa na ye to be go enti ye nipa ben who are we? Who are these Ghanaians? Who are we? Ye nipa ben. Well, and then yeah, the documents ye be we na documents we aye recommendations, very exclusive recommendations. Ye be kan ni na recommendations in ya share emu recommendations na edie ben na e kafa ho until discussions we na ebeson. Of course tonight Medura, the headquarters of New Life Homeopathic Clinic, Dr. Makeje obema all the analysis, the diagnosis about sickness aka few days ni run next year mo many wa sabriwe Christmas feast where ye be didi ni anom na cholesterol akosro dinka kwa check cholesterol first e woni ho na hwe be eduro then ye wia ye betum rika na yakọ two warehouse akese ewo Accra and Ghana ha. What I say, Kennedy Digital Company for everything about electronics, electrical gadgets. Who here a day Asher Christmassy or Nina Ebema. Then ye be to anamonso akọ ehifa asoye and tech eba for no so be hwehing ewo kwan na so na Nina no so no mama ye nro mienu pe the Spanish garlic mixture and the Spanish jingo capsules wo mo de ebema. Then ye wia na yewia na say Ghana Speaks better so, and Ghana Speaks tonight coming up, and we are looking at the destiny of Africa, why we are where we are on the 7th edition, plus some developing story. I know what ding tonight. You serious and ye easy. I know what ding. Ghana Speaks, don't miss it. Plus the interactive segments on the WhatsApp line 0240 550-899. Shannon Suse and the program where it's brought to you by these dozens of company here, Radler and Lemon Beverage for S supporting. And then of course, Antec Herba for Natara JK Ruta Natural Products for Joe Herba for 21st Clinic is giving us the support. Kennedy Digital Company, Dr. Mesa, Vicdan Healthcare, Franco Trading Enterprise, and New Life Homeopathic Clinic giving us the support. Abriwe and will pick a live feed from His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana until Obabe Din Komo and see ebeba pick the live feed. Na yahwe san komo and said esi ebeko. But answer na ebe picky feed, you know. Let me clear this out there. There's this huge rumor out there. I must say it's a bad rumor though, but I need to clear it out. Said just about a few minutes ago, news a breaky was social media say the host of this show, Kweku Anan, excuse me, has passed on. A bad one indeed, meboa. News are making rounds and say the host of the seed show, Kweku Anan, has passed on. One more day to social media, no so. You say upon program here, somebody has obia hanging on. But I don't for a program way, any ATA for a program way here in Ghana and around the world. Kweku Anan is here and a hani and a program. We are here all the time, and our one responsibility is to do one thing: services to God and country. We are here to serve the God of flesh who sit here upon the thrones. nipa onyankopon ene ebo no ni nipa nipa na ewo no entumi mfa ne nsa nka saa okra we yote ha no na wie uka enti all wishes mo amohwe program we Ghana any course ahodo a aba no any nipa matoto ba ha no de ebeka chon so mu na obi an steadfast boni bi ensi onyankopon guso a ekra yen ehwe oma ye hu nkan oma ye hu entinye onyankopon a tumi na ewura wansmapo bi woni freche wono a adom kura no no ma nkwa na wo hwe no boye ho ban no guso a boye ho ban ye bekoso an ya som ye man eno an ye bota yesi ha enti wo mo mugu social media no so omo ye sa se omo ye den de ye ka chon se enye ne kure anti age wo New Jersey bi chia opa yes one personality back on frame in name so kwaku no ese mete won kan sana because oni ni fiefo na ayebasa o tem ende no em se any nipa bebre abrefa wo Germany also no dom nipa pi kwa abrefa wo Germany ye chia mu na ye mfiri mu ye onyankopon adom nti ye te ase hwinzi bibia so nzi ja ya metimi aka wan I don't know see a bit me pick the feed from the president's speech and also say the headquarters of New Life Homeopathic Clinic na yenko head the echo bit me the WhatsApp the headquarters of New Life Homeopathic Clinic. Dr. Makeje will give us some perspectives about Yare. Many work na ontimi show all about say cholesterol for the year. Ebebwa and sana Christmas it will be the shining. Take a listen to this. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, you want to tell me a cop. Now me visit a version no pin mu yare but we take a different direction
for some reason me who say now intro now can.
Yeah.
Say ya can't nerves, ya can't gout.
Yeah.
Gout, you know, a simplified rheumatoid arthritis ne.
Roma na no ko kan se me hwe na ma no anse anko pass Roma atrophy say rheumatoid
good arthritis
na mo zukura mo ko fa we be head na mo ka ense bia emfa Roma
osteoarthritis
okay
so what have you heard of osteoporosis
before? Yeah, osteoporosis. Yes,
it's a dangerous disease. Yes,
spinal.
Issues with the bone. Yeah.
Yeah.
We try and the assembly. Even the seriousness of osteoporosis, ever become one some later. Obia obenya chronic one.
Yeah.
Most of times, what we have is any pan survivor no is within 5 years.
Hey.
Osteoporosis is a very bad disease. The moment you get to the end stage, you know, and all the no because of your can nerves, no, yenya kakra ba bone. We talk about gout, yenya kakra ba bone. And then week no me hwe ne ma bia e course so or asoe ho ne information nya wo other places na as a kidney asem no
it's escalating.
I'm telling you na enipa da ne ho so kakra enti na me say na no yemfa mwa by talking about the functions of kidney and the most especially signs a wo hu a as I say we are careful now we are serious about your kidney to avoid any problem. Yeah. Enti the kind of me de enchake se pa ebema the seat ahwefo nyina ewo Netu television we a New Life Homeopathic Clinic Accra Dansuman Runabout ehwa na be hu yan Dansuman main runabout no onye du ho na ko Goyo police station wa also ba New Life Homeopathic Clinic on be director no aba Kumasi ye wo Atasmanso onye do Atasmanso tazi rank ope na obusa New Life Homeopathic Clinic pe walking distance from the taxi rank into drive crowd there just about seconds na wadu ana okota crowd and secondary crowd na impatam ho ya wo airport ridge you know 7th-day Adventist Church asoridan na chipe ana be hu New Life Homeopathic Clinic na ni kasema wo ne say check up ahodo ni mfidi ahodo a egru head office Dansuman Runabout the same na be hu Kumasi eno na be hu Takrade meni menu ya program a check de bia meka say ya juma na ye no se ka branch bi enku anka muni how we have the capacity I bet my be almost about 20-30 branch everywhere but sometimes we want to raise the standard to the point say uko branch kra na as a feel it say waba head office and I feel near transport or sample and I ever refer or second KCM near the anti facility no do new life test a whole do I make see a year than smart runabout a kidney test a liver LFT ne cardiac markers akoma D-dimer by blood clotting ne yarea kese check up a whole done in PSA quantitative no one say prostate cancer bit me doing some money arthritis I can't want some name gout and as for all those testing in no the air cran the same thing I will come see the same thing I will takrade enti ehun hia say obese twa kwan kra say wo ba head office bibia obe hia head office no physiotherapy session ya beautiful one in Kumasi beautiful one in Accra alcohol ya bi nso takrade say massage ne ade ne nyina on sabeka that is new life from your party clinic enti as time goes on me be sorry though the numbers is on the screen mesa mention ma na ye din komo enti minua ye betimi abon tell senior wokan
that's right
say the jana no she ya me ba na me wo me up come on say jadem
great now mame sense of understanding why Yankopon di kidney share ni pam me hu akokọ de ne ne wane
visa ba kadipa de
visa me ka am say ya be visa
me ne ye ka kidney so faso a with that kidney no one can survive won't maintenance enya possible so kidneys nya djuma obenya haw makanda da say organ bia be hu say ye two e woni padua ni mu na assignment so pa Nyankopon nyansam no hu say
che say no obia de mienu te say ntohwe say obia de mienu yes sir
sabe
anya Nyankopon bobo no mienu
but ntohwe ne bi de one yare
you kidding
your friend undescending testicles
sir
yare kese pa
undescending and
testicles ntohwe undescending ntohwe eno na say abofra ni so ano ya mpekwan bi so amboa na it may develop cancer because testicles no ya na hihye kidney na se it is yenya 8 months e wo ye ma me ye mu a e be ka 1 month ni abe wiase na descend abegu ye ntohwe nim ye sack no that is scrotum na ababegum enti abofra bi o 8 months ne be so ne de mba ebi onso ne de beba na ba akoma. That's what we call the sending test. And also a very serious issue. To me, create as of spermia.
Papa,
I ain't send your kind no. Send your boss near two no. Sapapepe na kidneys no say day. A2. And your kidney a son fasoa minia. Did kind no. Ono na or balance acid on a can acid. You will never be bra. It's bit mama acid base no generate here. A bit create a lot of mess up in your body.
Wow. And
the kidney ne balance and make sure say acid ne yen some more. And after no or also balance water content. You can water na. You can nipeduane in so do here a day. You'll be shocked. Body in here in so pa. The body actually is made up with fluid and so ni moja. And a day nipeduano. And so do nipeduane here a day no. So you see in kwan ye no ma. Kebe difficult see and sabe kapa. And the kidney ni make sure say or be maintaining 12 glasses of water for you every day. 12 glasses of water for you every day. Enti na what to say, obia can say, in so do I na minimum a day, say num 8. Num 8. I didn't think attack 8. Because we be a friend byproduct. Ebia, a Diania wood no. You was certain food I bet many in so a day, Ephraim. A the body now bit much to so from Niania wood no almost about 4 glasses of water. Now for you one cast out me when you num 8 glasses ne can one meaty daily requirement of fluid and water exercise all year day consume conipeduanim and the kidney ne boa control maintain water body no ma woni peduane enya sustainable water e betime take you for the day so and a kidney crow ya so ene yi fin efri ni peduanim waste product enti I say nura ye nom enuane a ye di nema ye humi koye mu efin bia enya access to the blood no a kidney na shede so be purify no by using water into no clear waste substance from the blood every ni peduanim ema enti you do symptoms so nsem bia meka be mo atide enti e wo dis adwuma so enti wo yi efin every mojanim de bia enti ye ka organ or manufacture urine a kidney what we waste Johnson
kidney no yi Johnson ne
ba kidney ne produce Johnson because the insomnia purification no filtering system.
So why no what is a sonye no?
Sonye. As one na it is a bumblebee on my kwan me fint na omu. Enro bi o kra no ma eduro betimakum.
Ampo.
Oh yes, there are certain medication in realm where senke kilo say silence okra but sa kidney we be make sure so be jojo the content of the medication
na ba mo enam kitete sa na demo
I tell you
na emu nso unhu de wo mu o hwe emo ne de no a
adwuma ye dos pa eyi fin na enti fin na pie no then no abenya urine that is Johnson
wo yehu pa e se nipa suro nyankopon
oh serious pa na de bio unsuro na de bio
the mechanism
I tell you
the anatomy of
say
man
say yes esua nipadua na utina odin abem say no there's God somewhere nyame bi ho so what I say enti kidney there that is a seriousness about a fin and aside that na say release hormones so hormones are a being to control high blood pressure. There's something in the kidney called renal, no control BP. Renal, yes. You can't BP now. So moja ni fra komani mu ba pressure de ba na na no odin. So sample ne pass it through the kidney na hormones na control no. Like adwojo ano so that other organs na supply of oxygen no ebe ye okay. Na unya problem. So and a kidney kro ya so tumedi edi a enwanwa pa no. Ene say esan so boaw Emma Sebio, Unya, Hodin, energy, Unya for the day, no, or the mount. And a sound so boy releases certain hormones that support vitamin D production just to support the system. Emma will know penny on your memoir day, iodine. And ultimately, no, you can number one job of the kidney, a fin, a free nipedium, and making sure say the body will stand on top. I will be no near my bed. So, it did you make a kidney in a dozen, no cranny. Na ya na ye ntan ma ya dwen koso enemrem so koda dialysis so you be shocked amount of money you have to spend for the whole week no
me di meni ko hu mi re hu yo na nipa na kakraka sei
yo good e dey no ay kakraka why kakraka because a fin agina ni padua nim that is why I say that is what I'm talking about a kidney na shede so obe compile all this fluid. Now aboa no assuring.
If you nipa yi free ni mu pa a day no enye joke
I tell you.
Now within 1 hour a day na sa fini na atna wo.
Enti na ya na mo ye kese na bi 9 honhon ne sa ne ma no enti with the me bowra symptoms you understand. In the kidney nkan ho you can survive. That is a fact. Because enema ekom na bia ye dru awudro. More na ye wudro nema odikom ne ne o memne kom. Obi okra dro no no mo. So the sun ho ya de. But the drone also can turn as a form of toxics. A bit me honey pedriano. A kidney nasha there say drone 1 minute no or by her bad side no now eradicate it from the system. So what I said now I'm making sure say for son mom na day ubenya. Enti ya na yen tanka kidney asem because of what? Yen shanin so say checking your kidney. No crani minia. Yes say oh yeah renal function no keke no. Ideally between 70 to 150 you are done.
Sir?
Kidney na ye kind of so fast no. Also ye renal function tester. Say be ye foul blood sample. E dey call lab. Ne akwa say kidney no ne ho nsem to say we are going to check sodium, chloride, potassium, urea and creatinine. Sa nema we nyina shouldn't go beyond 150 cds. So, and so a bad day and a nipa da sani ebe hu say hu be hia say me ko check me kidney. Ade we so touch ma enwanwa. And a dialysis ne kra no udu that stage a. On say kidney o stages. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4, stage 5. We do 5 now is a kidney na ho is below 15%. And you can't survive. Any adomoto dialysis no. You can't kidney failure na. Ebi I do stage 3 a bit maga say kidney now is about 50 or 60% active. Because stage 4 years old is about 30% active. Now we do end stage no. What do baby a kidney no ye ne hwe enye dey. Enye ye. It I just say do koto afidie so. Afidie no hu hia ne say efin na say kidney na ifri ni pedua no entimi nya bio. So now you need machine to help you to clean the system. Sabe ya obenya nkwa. Ana no so kra no ensa yade. Enti wo ye kodu stage bi na osika san na so what dey achoke wa. So
dialysis no.
Oh, that's the
point. Went to be penance wo hu anu no.
Na dey na.
Ese se nipa bypass wonru sa stage oh yare bie mu asase wezu o.
Enti kidney there is very delicate, very sensitive. Many ebe won. What do you have symptoms na? Say kidneys na say ho touch my bar. Most of the times they best start fatigue and easily get tired. Why you down ne door.
Okay, there are symptoms.
You see say shasi a we start feel some weakness.
So
bibi kakra bi na wa bre. Afebon say wo dwen a ensisu ye.
Really?
Memory disturbed. Any say na man utim say why
memory disorders.
Why you very confused in life to say obi bia is slow. The reason being is normally kidney damage is to me related to anemia. Enti emma brain enya the necessary oxygen. I bet me their power for the day. Nama why a door na so when you brew as obetia those kind of funny thing. That is how I started. And then a bit me so I'm on edge of urine very frequently. We won't say kakrebi person Johnson. Kakrebi person Johnson. Kidney problems and no where your bani be when your prostate assembly. Your bani be majina. And me ma another secret say especially me man it true. Johnson na ye hu emoja ye hu Johnson no. Me ma 3 scenarios say emoja ni di kan and na urine na ba. Most of the times a problem from the urethra.
Okay.
Uti me ye pa. Say blood ni di kan. Obi o be Johnson na say moja na be ba first and na urine na ba.
Yeah.
And no most of the times a problem from the urethra. Tokro ne da obe mani mo no. Ana say o hu say o Johnson wi a na fe ne moja na ba. It may a problem from the urinary bladder. That's your brother, no? And yes, sir. Now, so when say Johnson in the moja in the diaphragm, it's a serious problem which can be a problem from the kidney. So, into Johnson,
I remember is a motor can
Brehazia, yes. And who has some American, but Brehazia and Inco, and at the American son. In this way, a Beman owns a moja or Johnson, who Johnson Yenaba, so you makes here, so Yafri. You will never know where it's coming from until you have proper diagnosis. And a kidney knows a bit to me, you don't feel, I'm saying, oh, a bit to my more for let's say, O'Connor Driane. So now what no now, I or no more to, was O'Connor Driane, no, I doubt it say. And then the seriousness of kidney problem, sometimes starts here, Ubenya serious itching, Ubody Becky cow. What's a matter of a kidney, a fin, different pedianum. Now, if you need to make my papa, tiny pedianum, to near call so I call blastering him into a fina cow, blastering media, or home cow. Body need your reactions. As I rejecting you, maybe it's now hockey cow pan, and now if you are very dry. So, and a kidneys will be to mamma will be or then and then near here. So, one who for be or some sort of puffness with but
I was our bro for home.
Good.
I brought from no massy,
sir. Do do now better be an near chin and hanging a pedapedia. And a be monso no air west no nothing in 9 so I start to say air cassia none in sa Obinson and Sababy a watchy
get out of hand.
Never when you now and the Rex when now swell up because M1 vitamin D in my joints and you're very good. It's not my own air on home. Now be on so I told the Eddie and the Fuancasa.
No, I feel through.
Oh, your mother pregnant too, but no more funny because so I found on the fire cassie. Go reduce weight. Not the church poor be. Okay. Next oh, I tell you.
Food dema do say. Easy.
The kidney hard drain. Am I ujija? Am I weak as a 50 test?
Anyway.
It's made to say there's a simple way to check your kidney.
Great. Yeah, I'm sorry, sir.
Be may yell to say, oh, but train to this stage. Because stage B and okay,
Kwabrano Simon can just say Bassana so you senior Kwashoko. Namnam Kayo, Robert Eja Kwabnando and Ekawi. Would you do
obey studio so
okay.
Senior Kwashoko. But anyway, we're right.
Okay.
Because someone said my Canada said Nipan over phone, very reduce weight.
If you know,
it's your ho. Nobody Nakas and then send you as a cadon peno, the 9 cadon pe by the funny dear. Na a pump it to say will be on your bear 8 months.
A faithful.
A faithful. The senior Koshoko is my but any brace have that and over studios. So, you're careful because the reason is a fini Jenny Pedro.
That's right.
Obejija. Me too for say, more nimre. Normally, me better me a general checkup. Savio Nya Hoteso. A year or quite I'll bet me a fast was Siesica for that. Rather than so best spending so much money whilst you are. When your medical conditions because they are really not chiwa who need control. The doctors now control you. But I'm now who dinner while 190 over check up there. Sabi, there's a way I want to say. So until you check up here, Sabu bit my check just the renal kidney function, no check here. I was able to tell you, say between 70 to 150, you'll be able to do renal function test. I bet my protective because my that dialysis, no, they spend more than 1,500 cedis.
So how many bottles of beer? So,
me say they spend more than 1,500 cedis a week. That is dialysis, no. And it will be a way in within a month, no say Sikasem woman what crocky almost about 8,000. Now, sorry, it will be more out on Tomo properties. No, they twaso. we do be scanning maybe man no so achoke then we jam no ko enti yen yen no say enye solution so edudu baby na sika sa onu ni asa obeja awako enti entu ye hofo na yen sua say ye be check up wetin ma be check you liver no are say obrebo no so ho asem to say de no so ho nim de be braw na afi wa check your heart cardiac markers so kwa be you need the heart to move on ni ahwa ma and then wetin so be full blood count ade we hu hia say omoja so te red blood cell white blood cell to say wetin so be D dimers ade we very necessary because of blood clotting na it has in pedua with sudden stroke it metu for say bia wo high blood pressure na hu ni say BP ne ntumi ma form a sometimes it related to kidney problems as well. At Uber New Life, we don't just throw light on the pressure alone. We also consider the kidney a lot because we know BP and kidney sometimes coincide or more chakapa. I all this platform for you, Accra branch, Kumasi and Takrady, everywhere we can ubenya that services. And to say, be a bema now, Johnson, a yankit sa. Most of the time, prostate in a blockage Johnson, I'm an impio, a makwami fiat now. Which can cause serious problem for the kidney as well.
Good one.
And to be obeba menim bia or ye bema or prostate condition bia or trinemu 10 kidneys me day me check in my sure say e de ne ho aka na ne ho kan ya.
Great one.
Eti me ma your telephone number ni locations no. Na me sorry na mpanifo ato aso amamo no. Betimi afre na ye di nkomo. Bibi e ha wadwen say ye stroke, a paralyze o de shebi for years no ntimi sorry. E bia na o di nkomo but nanti a problem. Michelle Unkran and the nervous system no and we have a way a bit stimulating nerves and the balance na intact no sorry anante and I who self find do as our chon 9 4 man and such a choba sabasa de bia only peduane for a week when I'm master balance in yet so high blood pressure diabetes and a high cholesterol no to an amaba near family any member now more problem with sexual disorders premature ejaculation erectile dysfunction and so no we have a solution so a tobe track no one freedom New Life Homeopathic Clinic. Accra head office dino ewo Dansuman runabout. When you do Dansuman main runabout in the park, Kogoy Police Station or say Oba New Life Homeopathic Clinic. Omobe director Nwaba. We are not far from the runabout. Dansuman first runabout na I may later go runabout. This is our friend. We do runabout na Goy Police Station KCB ho. What they want to me crown Kobisa attendance for say Oba New Life. Omobe director Nwaba. And I won't quit a can, so I will sit down small runabout her. Nante Goy Police Station, Tazi rank be also by New Life. Omodebeba. Kumasi, yaw atasimanso. Atasimanso. When you do atasimanso, Tazi rank your pet. Now, Busa New Life Homeopathic Clinica. A walking distance, on Betro, now so Nantiaba. The easiest way is say, Uben Sofolaya. Ubenya Trotro Sofolai. I do beba Tasimanso straight. Also be see a New Life Homeopathic no be see ye nimu ha inside ufiri oboase ne mpatam won so a na unkuta wa ka obetimi asi wo santase usi santase a market ho na tazi rank bi ho osi me call New Life Homeopathic Clinic omdo beba Kumasi branch ni ahwe Takrady Airport Ridge onam Kwesimintim highway ni so a ubaka akotwa U-turn bi ewo police station ono asasa wa chise oba no Ejiriba International School junction and ne kwan no nya fa ho pa second junction on the right, and also do by New Life Homeopathic Clinic. That was second day Takrady in Patamu. My number bit my friend Amdema. You started a Juma past 7:30. You tramwa could see and you 5 p.m. Tinyaku had more chan and the chain or Jumum Dindia. Branching in will be a Juma branches in is very active. I'll call on Bashamo. New Life numbers near 0244 09 35 9 5 0244 09 35 9 5 and a Vodafone here 0203 33 54 39 0203 33 54 39 New Life Homeopathic Clinic.
Yankopon share Dr. Makeje. Nah, that's an. We're back, and this is the Seed Show. We're live here tonight. Well, Dr. Makeje just a while ago on AD Sam Comedy. America trans will be to me a corner so what it. Adeba Kupen will be to me a or just to check cholesterol level. It's the same. Now cholesterol no will be to me a man above just because ye baby did Christmas ye be did niada. eno wo mada ne yekoyenim. Up next me for one and only the biggest warehouse in Ghana when it comes to electronics and electrical gadgets. Kennedy Digital Company for Netiso. Christmas we all about gadgets nina, from fridges to fan to air conditioners, microwave kettles nina wa hase. Answer no my pini kasa ne bebe my memfra SK in room fast na SK my all the backgrounds and say warehouse hono ho edzen SK mo adwe nema tsen.
Ya your penny bibia ye fine. Bibia ye fine. Bibia fine. Ekoyi papa.
Take it off from there.
Okay, you better see you better Ghana phone nyina ene enwumre e won na 2 afidie so na de tie Kennedy Digital Satellite enwumre ni mo ahia ye mo ebebo nkomo we tie sanse ye mampani be kasa ntie wo se yetimi nya bote ne tie de na de betudwa na enwumre de ye afishia pa ne de ma ye customers nyina especially mu amoto na moton we aso ye ne mo nso amuni edidwa mu nyina ye mo bibia afishia pa bronya na du na bronya ne du sei no a efie ye de pa efie ye de ye make
all right it is so to say uncle can na just
bedidi na yanom na bibia nso aye fine na ubedidi o ubanumu bibia ubeye ofie no wurim se uhia Kennedy Digital Satellite me se uhia den Kennedy Digital
Satellite
me ka ho asemi enye bibia eye home appliances papa yakofa free aburuchire di abagana ha na ya ma abrofo na ye no kwan paso a etimi ni anyina mahoden ne ebo adwuma e ma che se eye kama pa na de den se no esan se bronyen any next year nyame adoma new year ye be wuram ni nti Kennedy Digital Satellite say ono de watete bo ni nyina so watete so say hu and afi all my discount from 50%, 60%, 40% ewo items bebre a wo to eho ni me ka kire o ne say wo nkran ha fu ani kire ka so akwantempon no so waduru weja old barrier ho no bisa say e na ekokro bite junction kokro bite junction so se ugina so a opposite ubehu se Kennedy Digital Satellite ebo ho se tafa wo hwe no obeyira na oni akasa ewo ye telephone no so eno eye 0244 385136 0244 385136 and 0243 074750 0243 074750 ufrey say ye anadwi kura make say ya ye beje order anopa tutututututu babi a wo peni bia de bebrɛw enu nti wo kumase bronyan Ashanti region for ewumse dumso no muhu kakra de na emom anyina mahoden na eye sa ne nyina no wo so pese wo save energy se de ebe ya enura first na manya full energy ewo Ashanti region se wo use fridge a entwe anyina mahoden TV a entwe anyina mahoden wo to washing machine a entwe anyina mahoden bebre ahun se wo ho kire wo fridge no twe dodo ntia mesrew mumien conserve energy sanse ye kwanimu no eniema mu bedin eno de wiase abrabo no sanete enye emreda nanso wodo ho bo Kennedy Digital Satellite ahon beto mu amo Ashanti region mu free sunyane ba mu free nkranza eba mu free tamale eba mu free wa eba mu free paga eba ye Ashanti region kumase abedidwa no mu mfo mani nkire adum family plaza abrosanim Family Plaza bro sign first floor eho ye ho afemu amu wo kumase potem for chrome wo ija wo tech wo chrome from bantma be bia wo kumase no udu ani kire patase a ura Adom House police depot ho eho no ma ye ne fie fufuo na opposite udu e ura ho a eniema bebrebe eguaso ye ho a Kennedy Digital Satellite ye diaba meka home appliances a me se mintimi nka nya baako isanse ne ohia wo fie ne ohia wo kitchen ne ohia wo living room wo bedroom ne ohia wo restaurant anase ohia wo adwuma mu no yakofa ni nyina biaba ya titititi board so a ma se mi kra no che se ne mi hu ni se we the best time se utu nioma aton a ese wo Kennedy Digital Satellite won so awuyi ni baako ato wo pay home appliances baako ato no this is the time ese wura Kennedy Digital Satellite enti kumasefo mo numbers nie mo amufiri sunyane ba mo numbers nie mo amufiri tamale ba mo numbers nie 0244 38 51 28 0244
38 51 28 and 0207 65 30 31 0207 65 30 31. Brother kunim bibi. Near ten say Kennedy says see wakofa TV so kumbiaba. Na sa TV no pasi edidi brunya.
That's right.
KDS TV. Na Kennedy
TV didn't say KDS TV.
Kennedy Digital Satellite TV.
I see. Wow.
Na TV we no hu. The air then say a sleek, a fian just say F ebo ho a F keke akono na o de hwebo a awrade as a players ni gina won chen as a wo park na so bi o de hwebo ani F a smart a Android what you say enti mesere obi anto bi na ukwadwama aso sese ya no a nhwemu a ya ye kire se KDS TV ni yefo chen TV bia e san so ye papa enti obi a metobi mu a mu pe TV atu akoton e wo mo shops momra afi ope brand bia TV brand bia wunim a open so uwura Kennedy Digital Satellite say ye e wo wager traffic light no ase ho wabere wadu kokoro bite junction opposite e wa Accra hasam na mekan wonsa beka bi uko family plaza blosan mu adum e ho so wonsa beka bi uko patase adom house police depot ho dum a wonsa esu beka bi intimesere menye aswodin fa number no sisi e na da TV no so no freyen ba bia wo bia bronya we no u fridge nya wa nhwe yi a ubedi bronya no ama ora ho isanse umponche nam enkukọ nam eni nuane na obeye da edi bi behye fridge mu no se fridge ni nya wa nhwe yi a ohun enkwada na ama kwan sa na omaba fie no kwada ne de oye den a asodi nti ombe bie fridge no akatum obie no akatum obie no akatum e ba sa so fridge ni ntimi nchele beto eye fridge papa e wo Kennedy Digital Satellite eno sa kwada na obie 100 times in pa dani de nyina achele oniyema ewo mu nyina secured ensay enye hwe wo amu pay deep freezers at this time mu event organizers mu ye programs ahodo mu take orders na mu be use deep freezers e dia store nyoma no mu mora Kennedy Digital Satellite see ya sanse de oho no edoso pa your numbers and a good TV no so no 0243 074750 upe mako machine ni bi bronyan upe fufuo machine bi bronyan ni nyina ye de bebre aba nti men
21st clinic aye sciatica expert sciatica no wo nerves na wo to ase na fa wo siremu na fa wo nansia besi ase ho no se ho techema eno ene ye fa ne sciatica na etimi bubu oto ase ka wo se dwe wo sirem wo je ho ba bi a enye na no na 21st clinic ba ye adwuma pa wo mu ye ntia baso bo magine wo Ghana ha ene amono ne enya asem ketewa wo mu ji international awards ahodo wo mu ji local awards ahodo na anu nso na wo mu be the only sciatica research and treatment center in Africa bibrim ha no ebi ni ba bi a ji 21st clinic nkoa wo mu de bibidro ene besa o yare no masa de machine aka ho eya yare sabia yare bia wutimi de ko ne mama de ba ko a wo magidi wo mu pa no eye sciatica ena stroke nso de kwa diabetes ne hypertension ni ade Ghana ha ba bia wo mu ho 0540 311 311 0540 311 311 na 21st clinic wo mu ye sciatica expert
Beer
influx of visitors. It is important that I come back into your homes to provide an update on what government is doing to combat the pandemic and what is expected of you, the Ghanaian people, in this season. When I delivered the last update, I indicated that in spite of the efforts to rid the nation of COVID-19, the fight was far from over, as we had begun to experience a third wave of COVID-19 infections, driven largely by the Delta variant. The data tells us that the months of August and September in particular were the most devastating. Some 310 lives were lost to the virus in those 2 months alone, representing a quarter of the cumulative deaths from the virus since we recorded our first case in March 2020. In the months of October and November, a consistent decline in infection rates occurred. And mercifully, and by the grace of God, this has continued right into early December. As of Sunday, 12th December, some 2,042,778 tests have been conducted, out of which 131,911 positive cases have been recorded. 129,683 persons have recovered, meaning that presently the number of active cases, that is the number of people with the virus, stands at 973 persons. Inasmuch as this represents some degree of good news, we have sadly had 1,255 dying from COVID-19. The current data suggests quite a favorable COVID-19 situation prevailing in Ghana. And I say this only to encourage each one of us to continue to be vigilant and adhere to the enhanced hygiene protocols which have served us so well so far. 3 regions, i.e. Ashanti, Greater Accra, and Volta, have the bulk of infections. 7 regions have single-digit infections, and 6 regions, that is Ahafo, Northeast, Uti, Savannah, Upper West, and Western North, at the moment, have 0 active cases. We must do everything possible, at the very least, to maintain this situation, especially as the festive season approaches. Whilst these numbers should normally provide us with some comfort as far as the virus is concerned, I'm a firm believer in the oft-cited adage that it is better to be safe than sorry. We're expecting in this month of Christmas a large number of visitors, overseas Ghanaians and foreigners, into the country, with the Immigration Service doing a yeoman's job by intercepting many foreign nationals trying to enter the country through unapproved routes. The government's concern has been to limit the importation of the virus through the Kotoka International Airport. As things stand, international passengers arriving at Kotoka constitute the highest source of infections in the country, leading us to take drastic measures recently to prevent the importation of the virus from increasing the numbers of infections in the country. The Ghana Health Service tells us that an overwhelming majority, that is 75% of the positive cases recorded at Kotoka, have come from passengers who are not vaccinated. Beginning yesterday, Tuesday, 14th December, government has decided that all visitors coming to Ghana have to be fully vaccinated. Furthermore, all persons seeking to travel outside the country must also be fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated passengers coming to Ghana must, in addition, be in possession of a negative PCR test of not more than 72 hours, and also take a mandatory COVID test upon arrival at the airport. Children aged 5 to 12 will not pay for the test. Any passenger testing positive at the airport will be kept in isolation at a designated isolation facility, and non-Ghanaian will receive treatment at his or her own cost. Communications have been duly sent to all airlines flying into Ghana of the imposition of a $3,500 fine for each unvaccinated passenger that is allowed to board a flight into the country. Unvaccinated Ghanaians and residents in Ghana who departed the country before 14th December and who returned by 28th December will be offered vaccination on arrival at the airport. Further details will be provided by the Ghana Health Service. These are stringent measures, I know, but the benefits far outweigh the negatives. As your president, it is my duty to protect lives and livelihoods. The ravages of COVID-19 have been devastating on our economy, and I'm determined to return us to our normal way of life as quickly as possible by helping to defeat the pandemic. Fellow Ghanaians, as I indicated at the outset, the month of December elicits naturally an increase in the number of social gatherings in the country. I know many of you have planned either to host or attend a number of gatherings, such as religious events and activities, funerals, weddings, concerts, musical shows, festivals, anniversary, sporting events, family gatherings, and parties. Nonetheless, we should be guided by what transpired last Christmas, where there was a sharp spike in the number of COVID infection cases and deaths in the immediate months of January and February 2021. We should avoid the repetition of such a scenario after this year's celebration. We do so by ensuring that social events are held in open spaces, ensuring that attendees wear masks, ensuring that social distancing is observed, observing enhanced hygiene protocols such as hand washing and the use of sanitizers, and encouraging attendees as much as possible to come vaccinated. In as much as our active cases are now relatively low, the wearing of masks, unfortunately, remains low, and compliance with the safety protocols is still problematic. Whilst government does its part to secure the necessary numbers of vaccines to help vaccinate all Ghanaians, we cannot afford to disregard the social distancing, hand washing, mask wearing, and enhanced hygiene protocols that has brought us this far. They must continue to be a part and parcel of our daily lives and routines. Getting the jab is the best route out of the pandemic because, according to WHO, it reduces the risk of death, hospitalization, and the spread of the virus. It is for this reason that we have committed ourselves to vaccinating some 20 million Ghanaians, that is the entire adult population, by the end of the year. After the start of an impressive vaccination drive in March this year, we were confronted with vaccine supply constraints and disruptions at the global level. Fortunately, in recent months, the supply situation has improved considerably, and we estimate that by the end of December, we would have secured a total of some 26 million doses. Indeed, as of yesterday, Tuesday, 14th December, the Ghana Health Service has taken delivery of 17,736,710 vaccine doses. We are expecting an additional 8,529,090 doses by the end of the year. We have enough vaccines in the system. So, my fellow Ghanaians, I encourage each and every one of you to take advantage of this and get vaccinated. So far, we've been able to administer only 6,420,973 doses out of the 17.7 million we have at our disposal. Let me state as clearly as I can, the vaccines are safe. They will not harm you. They will protect you and your family. Contrary to the mischief being peddled by some, getting vaccinated will not cause you to vote for the MPP in the 2024 elections if you do not want to. This is an outrageous claim. Vaccination cannot change your political preferences. That is not its purpose. There are significant quantities of vaccines deployed in every corner of the country. We have thus declared the month of December as Vaccination Month, and we are rolling out an aggressive campaign of vaccination so that as many Ghanaians as possible have the opportunity to be vaccinated. It is a race against time, but we're determined to accomplish it. We continue to make steady progress in our quest to manufacture vaccines domestically. 2 days ago, on Monday, I was in Luxembourg, where I held discussions with the President of the European Investment Bank, Werner Hoyer, on Ghana's COVID-19 response plan. An 82.5 million euro facility has been approved for Ghana by the bank for use in the effort to strengthen healthcare delivery and the provision of specialist medical equipment and medicines across the country. Government has set aside 20 million euros of this to establish the National Vaccine Institute, which will supervise the domestic production of COVID-19 and other vaccines, led by the private sector and the business community. To my fellow Ghanaians living along the borders of our nation, I know of the difficulties occasioned you by the closure of our borders. As you know, the decision to close our borders, which are a source of livelihoods to many, was necessary because we wanted to limit the importation of the virus into the country. We're monitoring the level of threat of the disease and ongoing vaccinations in our neighboring countries. And as soon as we are satisfied that it is safe to do so, the borders will be open. Until then, I believe this is not the right time to reopen our land borders, especially as we're determined to prevent a fourth wave. And as such, they will remain closed until further notice. Government has beefed up its response capability and capacity to deal with the virus should we encounter an upsurge in infections. Over time, we have expanded our healthcare infrastructure, including oxygen supply and reach, particularly with respect to treating and testing centers, and the training of health professionals across the country in the care of severe and critically ill persons. However, our best bet in the fight remains adhering to the enhanced hygiene, social distancing, and mask-wearing protocols and getting vaccinated. Enuanom, Yamiadom, Yensaka corona drono bebre woyamamu bebia. Mamuntienia ebinuma yakeka. Boni bia eni adrono ho. Enti misramo obia nko hospital a ben no. Ana bebia ya wo paneɛ no. Na onko wo paneɛ no bi. Eno ene bebo ye ho ban bro nyamre mu. Me yere me ma awo ye de nke aka won so afen so mo koso ndi nhihye a pharmacy eni ye sahohoro no ho me ma mu nyina afisiapa anyame me nyimodromo woni na isha corona chofa pi no ya manemi hefia he yeka boano ni meko if one could bet to find no I mean fine. Me farm wire hospital ni benkele. Alo heni agbo to find ni ay gbo to find. No ni ba bo he bronya ne. Me he fatalo mbi wogbo wono ehwe bohu. Eko nye ya no. Ni nye wo mask ke woni ne formo. Mi hanye afi eya ni ebani nawo. Let us choose to live and act responsibly throughout the Christmas festivities. And remember that our actions or inactions will either help to end the pandemic at a much faster rate or continue to spread the virus in the country. I, on my part, will do everything possible to protect lives and livelihoods and return our nation to normalcy. It is possible, and the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is determined to realize this goal as quickly as possible. May God bless us all and our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong. I thank you for your attention and have a good night.
Beer. Mami, fufuri yedda. Me pocho balance na waka no. Fama mo wo fufuru.
Ye wo fufu tintintimo. Kenneth fufu machine. Ani ye de ye adwuma wa.
Machine pani.
Awu se fonene wo ba ye anche. Me de wo ko Kennedy digital satellite. E wo wada. Wo benya de wo de be wo fo fi wate. Kennedy digital satellite na me ka ho asem. Ahani o. Fufu pounding machine na me ka no. Enu nini. Wo ba Kennedy digital satellite. Nyama wo benya bia ato. E commercial fufu machine, flat screen TV, washing machine, fridges, industrial sewing machines, air condition, any home theater. Woba aya wager old barn. Yawo a traffic light na se opposite Kokrobite Junction. The number no 0243 074 750. Kumasi Swa, Edu Family Plaza, Patata Swa, Adum House. Number 0244 385 128. Kennedy Digital Satellite. Aya electronics papa. Efi.
Biker, we're supporting the new system. Yeah, Mama Biker.
But you are Tony near.
Let's not go be able to go to the
Because supporting my business for your new system. Hey, that's a Biker t-shirt. Mato t-shirt. The come back fan kind of. Your t-shirt to go, mommy.
Boss, champion, Mr. Mr. Only one.
Okay.
Biker is supporting a new system.
And your well-being.
FICO 20 is not suitable for children under 12 years of age, pregnant women, and lactating mothers. A quality product from Joy Herbal Center. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
And so aqua amanone, and so as a me vaccinated. So back and forth, Nina no we say Sabri, as I said, ye na ye share, and your money to tuni. Yareno yae. But he believes say 2022 no mono going forward and yama back from. Well, back here in the studio of the seat show on the Twitter TV, me guest you deliver all about the warehouses, electronic gadgets and electrical gadgets in the before Christmas. Kennedy Digital na SK egu so SK ebe wrap up. So SK you wrap up in free as ahwefo ne wo mo e be di Christmas e Ghana adwumayefo no ne ade ni na no wo me ending up saying.
On say ne mampani du tu dwa ne hia pa. Nipa wo pa na wade. No kre enti mesre bronyan ubedi na ye wo da kai hu ne hye ne so se sabi wo wo pane na bibia nso aye kama na ne ma akonenim. Sade ye ka no Kennedy digital satellite ye de yasem ye tie wa ye pese bronya we no eye bronya bia da ne da bia be ka wa adwen eni bronya didi anim nyina ebre aso se Ghana businessmen ne businesswomen ye be dwen ono ato ade we ho nti na sei no ye de oto ade no we ho a ne asan a chew bibi fufuro de aka ho eno echi ade na wato no kra ne asan ama discount na wasan de akofi no save sika bronya esan se obi se January there almost 60 days and we January mu ano pa and yema bi epesu to bi epesu nyamfa so fufu machine be bree ho se upe domestic one ni bi ana upe commercial one ni bi be na ho afi upe mako machine nso a ye be bree na aba bronyan amanfo be ye stew amanfo be ye nkwan bebre enti bomodi ne nya mako machine ni bi ye numbers and a good screen so no frey say ya me se anadwi frey a ye befa ne no akasa chena babi a wo bia do ne ma bebro wo ye obi a wo ba bedi bronya wo firi amano ne na ba bedi bronya memfa ne yoma nsoa enwu babi afi na ade ba betwa duty wo de frey e was 0243 074750 and a 0244 385128 and a 0207 65 30 31 frey wo numbers we nyina bia so Accra your wage old barrier ye beje so afi Kumasi your Patasi police depot honoma Adom house Kumasi krona ye science of family plaza bro sanim honso we ofre ye beje so aban adwumaefo we die mato adi bronya salary si ye pese we save enu nti ye se bra de wo hia bia beje by January ni ye asase e etew na bibia ye kama ye ntiw bebre so bibi kuma bi eye TV na wo pe eye gas cooker na wo pe air conditions mu se wo betina fie yi o hyew na bapa e wo se wunya air condition e bo kama out bi se anu yuru Kennedy digital satellite akofa bebre di aba mo amu pe bi di replace the offices se bia bedru se next year wo ko office wani bagima bia kama ebi wo ho wo pe bia kofie ebi wo ho wadwuma mba bia ebi wo ho enti bra bagibi washing machine obia magibi na bronya wudi asi nuoma nkwada wo fie na oso bibia aye form de ama sanso na mo amu pe fridge double door afi mo pe de ye de ton eye chese drinks fridge ni bi no ha drinks ni hyemkura wo hu mo amu ton provisions no bia na gene de na mo fa mo adwuma maka tro se wi ase no ba bia aduru no eye se wankasa wo tena ase na odwen na wo create bibi ma ho hyase ne create bibi ma wan create a wan hwe ye kombede o pa wasase so enti wo ye adwuma kora no a wo fufu machine ada kosi baabi na ye adwuma de ma ho ebia wo ye teacher ni wo so baji mako machine bi na ada kosi baabi na ye adwuma ma ho wo ye police ni na wa baba gidi freezer akese ebi na wo de si baabi na wo de onwire edi yi blog ne de keka ho what say otimi de ye cold storm po na se de sika no so bi aba na atena fie na bia fine we obia we lawyer we judge we hwan we ban adwuma bia utimi beto ye niema ni bi ade ko bie eye company foforo se de be ya onsoso no u create bibi no na niema aye kama yen kasa bebre se de ye kan ye no Ghana fo ba bia mo won momra me ye nidwa mo a mo be fa niema we ho no ye dam ase papa na bre we ni bre a se e wo se wo san be fa niema ni bi kan wo san se ya tete bo no so be fa nioma no se fridge a be fa bebre koton TV be fa bebre koton air condition be fa bebre na ekokoton na enyamfa so enso ewom yakofa fridge ni bia ba mirror na we anim eye kama afi mo Ashanti region mo ba your rechargeable fan wo ho eno no de unso light ni dum si den kra Ashanti region fo mu nyina mo magibi na bibia nso enye kama afi gas cooker
yes a fan we na obetimi dey charge your phone
ya eno a it be sa charge for it bo nyom nyina ma ho nyina ye de bi aba ho ma e be boa afi mo amopese musu ade pam anase mo ye fashion designers no mo machines ni nyina ye de bi aba popcorn machines ni bebre ho home theaters no brand bia bi enso e we aso ye open voltage regulator na se stabilizer ni nyina bi ho ni o to ya ho me se o to ba ko e cho ba ko o to ba ko bi e cho ba ko enti e free china e kopim 24th a Kennedy digital satellite and esa ukudidwa photo home appliances Accra for Central region, Western region, Eastern region munyina momran kan monko kaso akwan so baby e fro se kokro bite junction opposite e ho ne yebutu Accra numbers no 0244 385136 0244 385136 and 0243 074750 0243 074750 Kumasi mo free sunyan mo free northern region mo nyina mo Kumasi a mo nko adum family plaza bro sign nim ho mo wo Oboase nyina papa dogi me chia wo Oboase mo nyina mo mafitu nioma ni bi enso family plaza bro sign nim wo Kumasi ankasa so a ko Adom house wo Patase police depot honoma number is 0244 38 51 28 0244 38 51 28 and a 0207 65 30 31.
Good one, Yedawasi. SK, I delivered, SK is sports journalist at the same time, a funny one so pa said here, and you're SK, and on person within a power better. As a journalist, you know, I don't know what sports section, and a very good one indeed, and all the sports fields, sports disciplines, or run a commentary. But Ghana speaks to me pretty shortly, but share so. At the end of the day, okay, before Ghana speaks, Maminra, and take for the headquarters in Ro, Munina Mdebema for this very moment. So, what mean be or Maswaya? Not Christmas or Moko breaky, with me, the show half hour, and take a drone presented, dear Spanish garlic mixture or Spanish jingo capsules. Up next, and take it for Yamkoni Yamkoshes, shops Benyebi. Around this country and around this time of year holidays. Take a listen to Antek.
So when him say dear in Nupefi,
yeah,
a hona you free bay, na Yamia Domantek, ye Nupa, ye dear bedjas, said a gun of Wajia World War II. Meka say, a Yahuaway and you saw, na yet damwasen, so some way, and size answers, and when you are. Ye ni honum ena ye de adru ba ye se de ye bia se ye kan ye mo anya gide wo ye mu na mo anso bia nhwa anka na dance nka eni ho enti me boss ye wura dankwa Mr. Dankwa se me fa se dama mo na me kan cha mo se munti enen se wonna ye de ne ma papa bia tintim honum a enchen sam dankwa ena ye bete antakeba ye na ye adru friend Spanish SPARNIS Spanish garlic mixture Spanish garlic capsules and afi Spanish gingo capsules na obi bisama se mo adru no ya na opese wo hwe gingo no bia kasa hodi wom enu nie wo hwe se de adaka na tie ya haba mo na ya drodro ho na ha na se ye twa ama ye de rubber na atare ho no ase glass no enti wo hwe mu a wo hunu adru na ewo mu no na okode no ni ti no eda ekona no so hanom enti me pa cho hwe wo na pepa no so ye gya bi ewo esro hanom enti pa cho so wo kona akwa akoto Spanish adru a na obi amfa sro kwa anna ne wa chenchena papa no eno enie ya aboa no da ho na gingo no ye GINGKO odi ko Google anase ko Safari nebo gingo say benefit of gingo and you be the
medicinal properties
say woman and the Germany pedriano you be and the becasa cotubi nenom san say we are so bia pe apomudepa afa garlic and so the oya deji one near yayane capsules where ye garlic non kwa and na ya jeno so sa nia ya daka no a ye de glass na fama na adronu wo makona kono hwe ni na ye gel and ya ne te say bofra ba no akona no create me ma no madru no enu susu ni a okode no eda ne kona so na pem hanom and na ya chiro Spanish no garlic capsules no dia to mpesa wo hwe ni ye na wo chene bi kwa baabi a obi amfa soro kwa anane wa chenchena eno okantin kansu no minti minim garlic mixture free Spanish edwumakumu Spanish garlic mixture no we ye aduro nsu toa eneshem enti usomu a ya na wasomu yi amame se de be ya ebofo mu anhwe ya na afa se papa mutina se de aduro no papa ye na ebo ebe ya me ya papa ekomu adwuma ebe ye no adwuma no so eno susu nyobo se de ankatwade ene garlic ato ho na eni jesema ewo ho ne se enu emiensa wasori anopa se de ebe che osefa no ofa we bi na wafa we bi na wahwie we bi na wanom abo yes ye nom ne miensa ni nyina
ebom at a go
okay na obi se ona we ni ya garlic mixture na we susu ya garlic capsules no na menum ni nyina bom ane garlic de etise fufu etise menkani edosu wo mu mpo a ene ye na obi anu ebekasa garlic adosu abrosu wo mu nti doctor ebem wadu amaso ata na okotwe bi da bi nyankopon ebo nipa ne woni emabi oboma nipadua no edosu a emoroso esu a ene de wo haw bebrew enu nti ena mekanfo nu emiensa ama wo senom na sa wo nom miensa na ye friend is Spanish 3 powers combined hey akase miensa ena waka bomu no na miensa ne ka bomu a ekita anti-aging properties enya already asonko a me no obi di nkomo e wo echia na make acha ne so me kwara me birthday ba wonti ya hwehwe me 29th November na menya 40 years
Exactly.
and na make acha ne so me ko 40 wo se hwe o ka se 40 ne ko no kwa na me sa me hwa me hu so yie pa eno na ma hu se manyi no me wo de me ya me de hwa me hu so yie nya me boy no ama ya adwuma me nyansa kwan ya be fa so abehwe ho yie no is up to you me de mahunu say antek phone ro eboa me menoma eye me ye e mama hoden me inside you know last time I go check my body mass index I was surprised I was very young oh me BMI yes because cholesterol ebema me nipadua no mu asisi ama akere se me nipadua no anyini no
yeah
matini nyina so ensufin ene sade bone a ema nipa ye mre ema immune system no kra kofom me de aduro yate ne nyina so enti me kanfo ede ma obi bia se entwen ma yare ne ma no maduro ne fa bo ho ban ye ho aduro o se ase yese de bia wo ho no mo a wapomudin be gyan ne na so wo se de bia wo ho no asori a prepare na wo kọ obi timi ka se me ti ya me ya okoda osori a na ekọ ono maduro bia ayebre ana kom so wonom Spanish garlic mixture Spanish garlic capsules Spanish ginkgo capsules sa na woni padua ne ye onso betimi ayesa yare no nso so aba aka watompamu a hwehwe adrei me mo yare bia din esanse ewiase yade biara ye hanipa organ biara ya hanipa no so garlic edose wo mu a adro bia wo de beka
garlic sukuta medicinal properties papa
garlic wo mu a ema adro bia wo de beka yare no adro ne ye adwuma tatahwe na make us sekita anti-aging properties na de atie nie esanse eyi cholesterol bad cholesterol afri wo mu na ma wo mogya na timi adi afrisa ne se de e wo se ye nti akoma ne mre enti akoma no nsusu na ekita nipadua no se wakoma no mre ya abre bia wo ahoden ena enu achi no mogya no nso to a ekọ wa adwene mu adwene nsusu kita nipadua no pa adwene no fa akwa babia wo de eje enti obi a wure free ade ntentem obi a de bia na wuti dwa wo gagagaga obi a ye kan asem kyerewa sisi a na awura fi asem kra wo kan na wa no fonfom mesre wo se wo de anyagide ne arehemu ma me bosome ba akopɛ to ye nnure bi ne nom da bia se de be kyerɛ wo no nom ne saa pepepe na ye nhwa de se wa refre no enkɔfo mu ana na sa se me challenge you se to Spanish enuro no nenom ne hwade se ebema ahoto ankasa aba woni padua mu afa no dankyen a ye woni pabu ho no ma wonam ase ya tai ne niema obi frɛ doctor ne ne dinkomo doctor si gina so na we de ma me connect wo hema na wonti asɛm a wo kan wo so wo chimpai bobia obi aka kyerɛ ne se na busuafo empese obeye adwuma ne wanya sika nti ya tai ne niema e wo honhom mu esan so osɔre animu aye ne dududu eto de bia na abegina ne fa se stroke na ehunahuna no wonim ene wode nam paibo ase menua wo fa ayewudu e wo ho a wo so ade mu a wontumi na wo ho opo gidigidigidi me so hwehwe Spanish garlic mixture Spanish ginkgo capsules Spanish garlic capsules nenom na wa wo behu nsenchene e beba oni paduam ye doctor abie ne ponato wo se abre bia wo be frɛ no no obeje wo so agesa anadwo ena ye aduro enti wo kura ya ada se wo ntumi na nomia duro no ebema a regulate wo nana ma watimi ada na eno so krase ya adu foforo e de ama wo frɛ na ebre semu a wonu be din komo ye number na 0266 114111 0266 114111 eno dankyen a odesani a wo ho no mo e ho ana anase ayewudu onase ataitai wugidi se ye den a mempese mebo hu mempese afi na mebeka na ho ahwan na ntini no abobobo scientific names hu bia mo akwakoso ho adaye de meka cho no se wonase yewudu e wo ho ana wo ho kekawo wanum enka bone wo ho no ma wankasa kra wo da sorai ma kina hua wusum yemu a wankasa wo hua wusum yemu a ebon wo na de ogina nchen ene na me kanfo Spanish garlic mixture ene Spanish garlic capsule se enomi enupe okabomu a ekita 16 properties a eye nipadua ne ye eye Spanish garlic capsules Spanish garlic mixture oka sa enomi enupe bomu a ejuma eye ma wo no obi a wo pese wo so o twen umu aye ududu waye kese na opesa wo twe no sema ka cho sekita anti-aging properties ena esan wo garlic ena esan so ewo lemon ewom enti wonum na ema wo twe no na anti-aging properties no hold wo nipadua no se de be ya nipadua na twe no ensage anase ebeye firm na watchede eso still na skin no eda so ewo na hoden ena esan so ewo properties a ebo a wo se de be ya se bia ye so wo BP e de wato aduro so wo pese ofri aduro no so a ma men kan for Spanish garlic mixture and Spanish garlic capsules emma nenom kwa animu kakra bi ne hwade wo diabetes ena wo numu nro anase wo yo obi a okwa kete so a wo ntimi na wo di britra sciatica mani din na nya wo de na nya yare papa wo hu se na wo maame wo papa bi ese wo de hwiwi fanfan ban ho sa wo ntimi ntia fom a hyase na num bi na de wo maame di no ebia na wo susu di anhwa na de wanya no nso aba benya bi sa wo maame wo papa wo na bi enya sciatica na so wanya bi dada wanya gout sa entini yare no a eduro ba ko a mekanfo ama no pa Spanish garlic mixture and afi Spanish garlic capsules no beboa wo mama wo mo ankasa hu say yes yawo na wo motini nyina eto etwa afi me bisa ukunu na ho ode wo mpam etesai ebi kura wo hia ni nyina wo no de obo adabri jones wo afa ne sa me mfa ne sa sister wan hwe be kakra na wo cassette etia ne sa so wontumi mo wani je nwie peye minua to adre bi ma no Spanish garlic capsules Spanish ginkgo capsules na fe Spanish garlic mixture no sa wonum adre mi ensa sima ka cho say ye adwuma wo ntinimu da ho ena mema ho ode ni nyina sisie ni ntini na wie ye no nyina no eye ntini ni moje edi afrisane ya bo hun sachaya ebeba ni paduam mesra wada emfa nye se na mikuru de na wo mo adwuma na wo de na mo nchen ebasa wankasa kura wakoma mu nte enti to adroma wukunu no nya hoden oba wo be sori aye aduane ama wukunu ahwe wo ma asiesie fie o sori a wo twumu anu asen ada da bia na ofie ayefi eya hoden no na ekofom hwehwe aduro Spanish ye nuonu miensa unum bia na ama ho ato na nhyanka nyame se Ghana ha bebe bia yeto waduro uko na wo Spanish enu ni din a ebi wo ho na me bisa se wo nkwa no ne boy yesai wo a wote wo nipadua wo nkwa boy yesai ne boy den wo ho ene emesere wo ese emma aduro a ye friend Spanish ye nu mi ensan ne boy nhuna ye di kan sa wo na yesi bi ni ho a emma nhuna sa obekọ ba bi fofora kọ Spanish SPARNIS tosa ye dro yi bi ne nom de hwa ade se ebeje wo nipadua ye doctor twen wo sa wo be frɛ no afi me si bronya no ya mfa me sisi me wiwi saa na be kwa akodi da bi ya mfa wiwi
na yema tirade we eduro no each one be a nom na say my sa direction
enti se wo nom a wo be fa me ensa no a wo be hwie we atrema mienu anopa atrema mienu anwumere we so wo be yi capsules no mienu anopa mienu anwumere we wo be yi capsules no mienu anopa mienu anwumere se wo de bo wo ho ban se wo de tu yare ase wo de nom ne saa ma me na me ma oboso me baako wo friend doctor was it's a challenge and I'm demo because minim dia ya ma me ti di aduro ni di enti me kasa esi me bo se doctor dankwa eso wono kura mpo de ne nya me sum nti wonye achinya me de meje sanse nya me ankasa na ama yetumi ama yede aye nupa nti ya number ni 0266 114111 wo friend doctor obeje wo so na oni wadi nkomo na makacho santek ya dwu ho nti no enema papa bebre nam kwanso a eba bronyan ya mfa wiwi ni ye no no ho
amen great bronya ye mfa ni wiwi bia emfa nwremu ye de no asomdwemu ene ye bedi na yakwa aba ahondem. Great, we're back and so far we've done about one leg of the journey. Just 11 minutes gone past the hour 9. This is the Seed Show. We're live tonight from this studio here in Accra, across the Atlantic Sea. Amanado Radio for Pejamon, of course, also Net2 TV, GH Hawk TV, GH Sources Radio, Amansana FM, Womo UK, and then Osimpam 95.5 FM, Winneba, NAP Radio 90.1 FM. Also in a sinful, so all picking the feed. We to call a social media no so Net2 TV GH, Net2 TV GH, Ubenyashe, Oko YouTube and so I bet me type it the Seed Show when Net2 TV with Kwekwana, I bet me enya ahwe na nyoma akoye. Do I have to go for commercial break before Ghana Speaks and I to so? Okay, I'll go for a short break. Me ba. Ghana Speaks. Emuye ding dodo. And some Dawson. Stick and stay. I will be just back shortly.
WhatsApp us now on 059-381-1088 or email us digitalpress@jkglobal.com. JK Digital Press, everything to anything paper.
Every day be summer, it be the runaway. Keeping up, I come again. Baby, Mommy Rada.
For enquiries and bulk purchases, contact 0200-111101. Drink responsibly, not for sale to persons under 18 years, not recommended for pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
Don't worry about a thing.
Hey, baby there. So now you're an koi. We are what Jerusalem. Well, Lana me more why. Baby there. Drone any we Spanish garlic mixture. Boama moja dear full sunny. When the pedian we collect. I feel so as also boa mobi or casa pampa when you trim. Obia na kuma boni peli. Obia wa Johnson tentem. Obia de na se atatai. I feel so be a slab dear adokono the pedian and nanini na. Collect.
Eja, we also ye Spanish garlic capsules. A supporting immune system.
That's all.
Shenenso, Edrey, and Yama Oba wa fair fru. The Oma Accra no for Accra Onya in fear dumienu, ain't mean fair dre. Fre 0266 114111.
FD Ashisha sa ijedi nkra tuoyimu aji atumu se
back, and of course we've done about 2 legs of the journey now. Up next, Ghana Speaks, and just about 17 minutes gone past the hour 9. Shannon to say, Royal Cup cleaning service for the Ebebo say Christmas feast way. The year can say Branabe Domi and a general and office cleaning. Yeah, man, be another the whole of the year. Or office where you intimate cleaning hoye. You be cleaning or hoye come amount. House and residential cleaning, clean training, post-construction cleaning, fumigation, bebre mufie and tefre, nkusie, nchiribin, nini, ayo homa, denura for bebre, all kinds of you know, a gamma lizard for na etito. Momube spray ho na dynamo ho enya kama. AC installation, wet and dry cleaning, carpets cleaning, mold cleaning, moving in and out. O shop no so. Nipe ko ni nipe ba. Na ho na ya ba se be clean no. And then commercial window cleaning, landscape management, event cleaning, weddings, ceremonies, funerals. Nina ebe cleaning at the amount. Royal Cup se bomodiana contacting with 020 0856914 and also 0303 943 which means we are contacting on WhatsApp 0268 709 514. Locate no Ewa Dome page 1 Saloon. Royal Cup we leave you with a smile. Dr. Mains and so Eka say in Ruwe mo yare stroke no bomodin unu ebi udi shebi bomodin ana contact Dr. Mensa na onfa enroni bi emro anase na so obi be Samen Gretman herbal powder and serve as an immune system but the 4 in rare can here Samen cool capsules and a fight against cocoa piles na metre Samen men's capsules and memory be brain so are you weak sexually weak and swash your trouser serious powder then Samen black powder and say for detoxification we yefunumu efi ewom ubedidi egum Christmas be nom drinks bedidi eguso detoxificates your body no what then Samen ointment and say for skin diseases for ointment in the year skin so na ni na ho enter what Dr. Mensa say code the following places headquarters e wo Kumasi opposite Guinea Depot benya that crowd for beko opposite secondary college or in Kraha bra sa building women net 2 TV house sunyane for beko municipal hospital or kaswa ko SHS in Senia SHS Kofredi beko slaughterhouse dunko fin fonko solar FM sefi dwunase na wo kwadum cold store or takwan so ko Dr. Force on show 21st clinic is one of the best clinics so far with so many awards unto itself all about self yarene ya to the friend sciatica it's a pain connecting from the waist under the buttocks through calf to the toe yare more than part 21st clinic pen to me it to say yare Emma a free wakwemu na ye can laboratory ne massage ni na so the beka hwama or 15 branches all over Ghana yo Kofrodia B Foster Ministries Road Sky Plaza building Accra for ube o Accra for niche Dome market udru have heavy duty building ubenya 21st for ewum Kumasi for beko area overseas your takra de you sunyane techiman guaso sefi any baby bebre for 21st clinic was 0540 311 311 and 0540 no 0546 616161 or no AB2 and more up next Ghana Speaks brought to you by Rutai for products we a mixture and then also tonic ukambumwa may to malaria or malaria all the areas in ACB2 join this ACB2 typhoid ACB2 nenina no ohwato edri shops ni pharmacies e wo Ghana be bia will be nemo upese utu na wo de ko bi another district or region bi na wo koton bi ho eno de wo de ni be kire Accra Okanshi kwahwehwe Nana Boache Herba King's Walk Pharmacy Tenated Herba Baseline Pharmacy Nisi Pharmacy and Ekus Pharmacy ono wa Sherman and also bitumi akọ Jurid Men's Kumasi AA Mensa Watakrade ono so etombi contact Rutai for no it was 0244 503 443 na ono call Upness Ghana Speaks tonight we present the 7th edition the destiny of Africa why inti ye dasu jina bibi jina yi Africa ye shebre sentia ye jina bibi jina ni yenko yenim but then mobesha last week 2 episodes on Ghana Speaks me presente nipa wonomo aboama ewiase if the world has reached the stage Adra on the global stage. I can tell you that the contribution largely African personalities have been part of this build-up. Womwa eboa meye space exploration. Womwa chese bebre ewo medical field, medicine, discoveries ni nyoma pi. But then it begs the question. Why is it that some personalities we nara ewo Africa, DNT and the Africa continent entimin tumpo near da sujina bibi ejina. Na enokra numpo na I say too far fetched. Why is it that these Africans in their respective countries. Crony to me tumpon. Share tapes are me bopo mamo last week. Almost about half of the personalities omu free Ghana. Mobekai. Bebre. Dr. Wayne Mensah, Thomas Mensah. She discovered my yo about the about laser, about fiber optics. And that the whole global world is moving on the superhighway. The information superhighway, the DNA driving the highway is about fiber optics. Dr. Efensen Kofi Boahene, one of the best surgeons in the United States, a Ghanaian, Thomas Mensah, a Ghanaian. The list goes on and on and on. As we will be a Dasujira. Well, tonight, I present to you this edition way that we are here, we shall evaluate and assess some of the African culture, how it is seen in the eyes of the Europeans and the Western world, if indeed it needs modernity. We will present you about the African culture and say, Europeans, you know, any Americans in the Western world, no, culture way. Is saying, by the way, we're asking the questions. Do you think some of our cultural practices need modernity? And here comes that a renowned journalist in the Western world, Christiana Mampo, visited Africa, and here comes her presentation, her views and outlook. Take a listen to her.
Woman to have to pay for the sins of her ancestors. Family members accompany Akuponyo on her 6-mile walk to the tribal priest. They are sacrificing her because they believe that otherwise the gods will bring death to the family, to punish them for their forefathers' crimes. It is a never-ending cycle of fear, says Akuponyo's uncle.
Whatever the custom demands for the death to stop, that's what the family will do, even though it's so painful for us.
It's a public ritual of humiliation. Akuponyo has to walk a gauntlet of jeering villagers and beg them for money. The tribal priest she will serve is Maku.
As far as I'm concerned, it is good because it deters others from committing crimes.
We saw her from the beginning when she was waiting to come here, crying a lot. Why do you think she was crying if it's so good?
If you see her weeping, she's crying from joy.
But Akuponyo's humiliation continues inside this hut that's their holy shrine. She's supposed to become the wife of a god, but in reality, one of the priests can take her as a slave for work and for sex. What you are seeing are the secret rituals of atonement that have never before been filmed. Everything from Akuponyo's former life must now be stripped away. Her clothes, her beads, her earrings, and finally her pride. The work of a slave begins at dawn. There are 21 in Maku's village.
There's 2 over there.
We wanted to meet some of them, so we asked Maku to show us around. There is this little girl who was brought in just 2 weeks ago, and there are old women who've been here all their lives.
If you had been able to choose, how would you have spent your life? What would you have done?
They brought me here so young, I had no say in my life. Now that I'm about to die, I don't care what happens to me.
But even a whole life of servitude doesn't pay off a debt to the gods. Girls keep paying for the same offense from generation to generation.
You're the replacement for your sister who died?
Yes.
Are you happy here?
I guess.
In private, Christine told us a different story.
You will become the wife of a priest? Do you want to? Huh? No. Do you want to run away?
Yes, I want to run away.
And why don't you run away? Where are your parents?
My parents died.
They died.
Great. So, we maybe some questions. Do you think some of our culture need modernity? Christina Mampo of CNN, the visit, the discovery. Now, Having said this, did we also know that some of African culture and historic artifacts remain enviable to the Europeans and the Western world? There were historical artifacts. Ni bia a dian so ma yehu say ye bi before no. Ha brofo ni brepa o. And most of them omuwia ni na. We don't even know till now. Omuwia ya hemfa na omde kogu ye na die be sunti, and they have to tamper with these artifacts. Watch this.
We call them museums, but that's a euphemism. It might be better to call them warehouses of stolen loot. In 1897, the Benin bronzes were stolen from the Kingdom of Benin in modern-day Nigeria by British colonial forces. The looting of Benin City was horrific. British soldiers massacred an unknown number of inhabitants and then stole thousands of artifacts from the royal palace and court. Most of the Benin bronzes are in Western museums and private collections. Hundreds are still on display at the British Museum, even though the Royal Court of Benin would like them back. Between 1950 and 1970, the British Museum actually sold a few pieces back to Nigeria, which is a bit like someone robbing your house and then demanding money for your flat-screen TV.
Empires of Dirt, a show about Europeans getting rich at the expense of everyone else. Previously, we found out how Bristol was built on sugar and slavery, and how the tobacco lords of Scotland got rich.
Throughout the 19th century, it was fashionable for Europeans to venture around the world and to auction houses in search of cool stuff they could take home with them. People like Augustus Henry Lane Fox, who was born in Yorkshire in 1827. In 1880, his rich relative died, which was a stroke of luck for him. He inherited a ton of money and the Pitt Rivers name and estate. Pitt Rivers had always been a collector and amassed an enormous collection of artifacts over his lifetime. He donated 22,000 of them to set up the Pitt Rivers Museum, which is still standing today. The Pitt Rivers Museum is trying to engage with the problematic history of many of their artifacts. Curators here are working to identify which items should be returned to their countries of origin, and they're trying to decolonize how they present the items that do remain in the collection. One of the most controversial objects are the so-called shrunken heads, also known as Shoah sansas. For decades, museums would display shrunken heads as a way of reinforcing racist ideas about the superiority of white people. Visitors would come and gawp at how supposedly barbaric indigenous cultures were, when in reality they had little understanding of the cultural context of the shrunken heads. They came from Ecuador and Peru and were made of human, monkey, or sloth heads. But they weren't war trophies, as many European collectors mistakenly thought. It's believed that one of the reasons they were made was to capture the power of people's souls to increase future harvests. In 2020, the museum decided to pull the shrunken heads from display because it felt like the way they were being presented reinforced negative stereotypes about indigenous communities. They're still trying to figure out if there's a way to exhibit the heads ethically. That's the reason why the cabinet beside me is covered up. There's other dubious stuff right here in the Pitt Rivers Museum, like, for instance, this totem pole, which was bought for a mere $36 in 1901 from the Haida Nation, who are indigenous to remote islands off the coast of British Columbia, Canada. The Haida Nation have lived in the region for at least 6,000 years, but the Christian missionaries visiting their islands in the 19th century thought their possessions were unholy, so they confiscated them to be displayed in European museums. Naga trophy skulls like this one are also part of the museum's collection. When the British sought to colonize India, they also tried to colonize the indigenous Naga people who live along the Indo-Myanmar border. They even tried to get them hooked on opium to bring them under their control. Others, like American missionaries, converted them to Christianity. For centuries, Nagas have been stereotyped as headhunters, even though some now think that this was an exaggeration from colonial officers and missionaries, and that the practice was nowhere near as prevalent as thought. But it's still uncomfortable to think of museums hanging on to human remains that were never theirs to begin with. Aside from the questionable ethics of it, There's also the fact that it's part of the heritage of Naga people today, and they should be the ones to decide what to do with their ancestors' remains. If every time you see non-Western artifacts in museums and they're presented in a way that wrongly suggests their owners were bloodthirsty and savage, it conditions the way you view those cultures, both then and now. It reinforces a false narrative of Western imperialism, the idea that Europe was somehow better than the countries they stole from and colonized. But museums around the world are waking up to the fact that taking items from other cultures and holding on to them is a bad look. In 2015, the grandson of a British soldier who looted Benin City returned 2 Benin bronzes to Nigeria and is planning to return 2 more objects. In October 2020, the French Parliament voted to return 26 objects, including a royal throne that was seized from Benin in the 19th century. Museums around Europe are slowly realizing that exhibiting items taken by force hundreds of years ago from other countries is kind of gross. And it's about time. We can't change the past, but we can change how we engage.
Africa, baby, no. So all these artifacts. Yedibiko Ghana ha. Ushe history not a history no betin we say nioma yabesi sawa Africa ha edekono. Enye nioma ketwa. The whole of Africa neme be brave. Yasisa deko. This is how the Europeans treated us. Now, again, did we also know that the discovery of America was not by Christopher Columbus? Did you know that? The discovery of America was not by Christopher Columbus, as history has distorted long overdue. Did we also know that 4,000 years ago, before the birth of Jesus Christ, Africans, black Africans, were doing what you call cardiac surgery before the discovery of medicine? Now, America, Corona, nya America for Christopher Columbus ne could discover, before ne could discover Corona. A biome 4,000 years ago, before yebewo ajenkwano, maybe before ne surgery, cardiac surgery. Kwa ben so na ne faso ye no. By making history ni nanende, who the Western world, America to be precise, they hide all this history. This top secret information we hide no. And for when we Professor why you will not know it. This is what they've done to you and I as black people. Watch this as they tell the story.
The word educator comes from the root duc, deuce, D-U-C, D-U-C-E, which means lead. The prefix E stands for out. The suffix A-T-E means the act of, and the suffix O-R means one who does. An educator is one who is engaged in the act of leading people out of ignorance. That's what education should do for us. We do not educate people by telling them that Columbus discovered America. When people from Africa came to this country and discovered this country between 20,000 and 10,000 years before Columbus was a gleam in his father's eye. You see, that is education. And when you teach people, when you educate people, you educate them to the fact that 4,000 years, and you must do this during Black History Month, because we are teaching Black history as if it started with slavery. 4,000 years before the birth of Jesus Christ, people in Egypt, which is a country in Africa, which we have moved into the Middle East so that we won't have to admit that all those wonderful things we got from Egyptians came from Africans. Those Africans were doing cataract surgery with metal instruments 4,000 years before the birth of Jesus Christ. You look like you didn't know that.
I did not.
For the love of God, you should. I know why you didn't know that. You were educated in the United States of America. So you didn't learn the whole truth. You only learned bits and pieces to make us look good. And enslaving people evidently made us look good. It didn't make us look good any more than running the Crusades for 300 years in order to Christianize the world made us look good. We celebrate the Crusades as being a wonderful thing that we did. We killed people for 300 years to bring them to Christ. I'll bet Christ was just delighted that that's the way he got them. You see, I have a problem. I have lots of problems, but my main problem is Black History Month. If you really taught Black history, you would have to teach Black history every day for the 180 days of the school year, because there is that much of it. Everything that we hold dear, most of the wonderful things we have, we got from Egyptians, which is a country in Africa. And when you read the book Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization, you will realize how badly we have.
You hear that? What a when we said the history, you are distorted. And how many times and our history books, rewritten over and over. Well, yet Ghana ho, we are no Professor Dr. Emeritus. Your professors are Mugu Ghana in Nara, Bakukranim. All of you, professorship ni nano, the European manuals, Bruni manuals, Namukus. Bruni manuals, and your question, Professor Dr. Emeritus, Professor Samuel Ghana, Bakukranim, Omina. When we did that, how many of you did know? Sir, 4,000 years ago, before Jesus Christ, maybe before black people lived. We lived in the ancient Egypt, and a civilization. And so, check it, the whole of civilization around the global world. Becca said, civilization is started in the Western world and black continent, and here the last to receive civilization. Meanwhile, yes, can you imagine this? Now, I want you to listen to this. The white people telling their own story, how they made you and I salvages. Arehu, listen to him, how passionate he is to tell the story, how they made you and I salvages. Listen to him.
You're asking us to talk about history, the history of the South. This is in Georgia. What happened in Georgia? There were savages in Georgia. It was the ancestors of the white right-wingers. They were absolute savages. They murdered people. They lynched people. They raped people. They enslaved people. They took babies from their mothers and sold them as property. You want to talk about savages? Your ancestors were the biggest savages the world has ever seen. And so don't you dare call a black man a savage after you murdered him. Don't you dare do that. I'm so sick of African Americans being called violent when the world's worst violence was done to them, not by them, to them, not by them. For God's sake, you want to do racist stereotypes? If it fit anywhere, and it doesn't, but if it fit anywhere, it would certainly fit white right-wingers in the South, who has hundreds of years of history of being savages. Savages. They snatched babies, and they sold them as property, and they raped their mothers. Savages. That's what they were. You want to talk about stereotypes? Screw all of you who still defend that Confederacy. That monstrosity. Anyone who defends that is a barbaric savage.
That's why they don't want to teach American history in public schools. That's why there's been a strong orchestrated effort to prevent the teaching of anything that you just mentioned right now. Because, hey, God forbid that, children learn about the real savages in this country's history, right? Let's go ahead and dehumanize people over their toenails, but let's also erase the part of our history that, yes, is dark, that's awful, but is the truth.
You know what white right-wingers did in the South? And they did this for hundreds of years. In a lynching, they not only hung the person, they burned the person, and then they cut off their genitalia. And in the midst of doing all this, I swear to God, you could look it up in the history books, they had a picnic around the body. And then they would take home pieces of the charred body for memorabilia. They would have the kids, their kids, go pick pieces of the body off. And then after they did all of that, they had the temerity to call black people violent. No more. No more. You don't ever get to call a black person violent. You don't ever get to do that. So if you're a white right-winger in the South, don't cry about, oh, no, my beloved ancestors. Your ancestors were not beloved. They weren't. They were monsters. So I said it because it's true. How you react to that is up to you. You can say, hey, that was terrible.
Did you hear that? The workers on your bibini o or your bruni. When kwanya ye de be before efaso still in the United States, the world's most superpower, or why you believe is human rights, equality. We don't discriminate, but still the inequality still high, still rising. When kwanya de be before faso. Genitalia no, Bemanu, ye to me trap, ye shin on ye trap. Turn it into mobilia, whatever they call it. She would deal with the she bonia womudi dibi before. But then comes there. After managing us from immaculate conception of Christian religion, Black Africans' way of worshiping God and eulogize turn to this. Womubaya, wombe recasem ni newe no. Uti audio ba first video ba kuna me boy no. Uti womu said no ma meneka. She kwanya the beat nipa ya bru nipa to accept Christianity. What be that? Why do you think they see a bru nipa ma omo accept a religion called Christianity? But that's exactly the same they did to Black Africans were maimed, were beaten, were harassed into accepting Christianity. When they rolled to the corridors of Africa 15 centuries ago with their sea safaris, Cain presented the Bible to our forefathers. Beneath the Bible was the gun. This is what they did to you. After doing this to us, contaminated, and did all those things to us, now they turned Christianity. Now we have turned Christianity into this commercial foolishness like this. Watch it.
Africa, Ghana. Hey, now you're going. African corn, and I'll fear by phone. African corn, or my just about to come out. Simon, remember, so oh, God, dear. We are not just we are Sicilian or Benno, Sicilian or Benno. What Uber? Why mobile money transfer? Yes, can. If you can and I'm confirming more movie and Profisical. You can't that out.
Ninio. Yet the ye Jumadinho. Huh? Yet the hard work. Yet the creativity and innovative. No. About this. You could now be a Christopher and woman. I don't feel some Christopher, mentai Christopher. But listen to me. I dream not that. Christopher War Ghana. About 1995 or more. 5:9. Go and read Ephesians chapter 5 verse 9. That's my strength to do what I'm doing. Saturday or Munamo Mudikwe. Anantianante di and Segu be massage asasi. Nire. For us as a country to grow, 65 years next year. Obediemu 50 years with the developing the chrono. And we 2 years to sit down Apple on the Atlantic Ocean. You sit down was so. Do you think it's impossible? All things is possible. Okay? God gave us the brain. Mekacho said God is finished with us. Because if you read Genesis 1, God said, so he created everything, the world, everything, that the last entity was human being. Then he did what? 3 things God did. He gave man, there been 1, power. Number 2, to have there been domineering. Number 3, over what? Not over himself, over the things of the earth. What it means basically, the common sense rise here. You don't need Sa or soft one saw them to tell you lies. You, as a man, as a human, possessing God power, you have the power to create. You have the power to make. What is making us not to create? Dear Africans, Ghana, eka home. Now, with all this avalanche of churches here in this country, the question remains: and all the churches in Ghana still, here, Kodanda waha, yes, sorry, I did demonstration back and forth. So many problems here in this country. So, you don't think the church has failed you? Mostly politicians. No, the church has failed you. Now, finally, after all these Christian things on Mudibre Africa, no, here comes today that we have become the liars, false prophets, and misleading the word of God against the God of flesh, seated upon the throne. Womudi nyamesuni bre ewie na fi yankasa no yaya adadafo amonyankopon asem yaya atrofo enkomhyefo against the Lord God of flesh seated upon the throne. And one of them onini ti asama wo ka kire Ghana for na hwese ne kure bi wo mu a. Listen to him.
Couple of years ago, a certain man of God called me to his office. At that time, I was not very big. Then he said to me that God says he's going to lift me in this nation suddenly. And suddenly I'll become a household name. And people will be rushing to Royal House Chapel. At that time, he said to me, we used to run one service. So based on Matthew chapter number 16, verse number 19, he said, God says he should give me the key. Ladies and gentlemen, it was amazing. The next 7 years, I leapt in this nation like something. Boom, boom, boom. 3 services. Then, last week, a certain man of God, he called me. That guy, he doesn't talk by heart. He doesn't talk too much. And everything he says comes to pass. Now, he said to me, it's Apostle General, do you know that your voice is the most authentic voice in heaven for this nation? I said, wow. I said, how do you know? He said, God told me. I said, I almost became an unbeliever by saying, but there are, then I shut up. I said, there are no others. God has spoken. I was going to say, but there are, then I held my mouth. I said, there are no others. God has spoken. He said, I don't talk much. God says, your voice is the most authentic in the heavens. And that whatever you want to happen in this nation, when you declare, it shall be done. Increase that clap offering. Somebody said the key. Clap your hands and somebody said the key. Somebody said the key. The key. Ladies and gentlemen, I can look into your faces and I can guarantee you that the next president of Ghana is in my mouth. Ladies and gentlemen, I can look into your faces and I can guarantee you that the next president of Ghana is in my mouth.
Jesus.
Did you hear that? And I'm here to look right in the camera and tell the so-called apostle he's a liar. We are true of war. Yes. Wanchankra, I'm sitting here and I'm telling you, you are a liar. I'm saying to you direct. I don't care. That's not my case. I don't have problem with Ubekwa Nasore. No. But me say, that message no catch on. He is a liar. And I challenge him, come to Netu, they improve this message way. You see, this kind of psychology, gameplay about these so-called, some of these so-called men of God, And no, and I'm a crew with that Sujana baby Ginano. They be a say politicians in Sekruno. I agree, but to a large extent, the greater part of the destruction of this country, right from the Fourth Republic basis at Amway, as so funny be brave, more Sekruwe. But nipe bin to me bold and can't. This message is a lie. Now you don't really understand black people, and they sit there like zombies, and they listen to this. Now listen to me, oh. One kasebi amoka asofoni bika. It sounds so odd, and it's saying, I quote, God spoke to me. You. Can you hear the voice of God? Do you know who God is? Do you know? Do you know the God of flesh seated upon the throne? Some of you are mukakase onyankopon nim yakasa. Where? Now tell me why. The God that has spoken to some of these so-called charlatan men of God, and still but these men of so-called men of God continue to prosper. And the most annoying part that Christians in this country still don't get it. And please don't get it twisted. This is the truth. How many of all these so-called men of God that you know can be described as poor compared to the members in the church who are more poor and poorer than their own men of God? Is that how God designed it? And you can read the common sense out of this. Now take a listen to one of their own. Yeah, one of us, one of their own, telling you and I just to beware about their identity and how they go about this, their psychological hypnotism, enticement, all these form of, psychological game plan that they hypnotize on your brain. Professor, doctor, whatever, near to only etiomo. We are near to say near their common just like that, and then they prosper. Now what you listen to him. Well, listen well.
People, all of us, including myself. So don't think I'm just abusing you. Somebody is preaching people, all of us, including myself. So don't think I'm just abusing you. Somebody is preaching, God is your covering, is your everlasting, and then he enters his car. Mobile is going in front. You are going on foot. Who will protect you? Are you not thinking? And yet we celebrate them, great men of God. Who has bewitched you? Well, that's the Galatians. Galatians chapter 3, verse. Who has bewitched you, oh foolish Galatians? The man is saying, the Lord be with you, will protect you. You are too loaded to be caused or something. And when you finish service, he enters his car, bulletproof car. Mobile is carrying gun in front, one at the back, and you are going on foot. Who is foolish? Muslim brothers leave their shoes at the door. And you believe, what do you leave at the door? You leave your brain at the door. Because we don't think. We come to church, we don't think. But those are the ones we respect. Those are our big men of God. When the blind is leading the blind, where will they end? Our streets should be filled with joy. Our homes filled with dancing. Injustice should bow. But it's in the church that you have people whose hearts are so dirty to one another. They are so hardened, bitterness, affronjo, jealousy, all those things in the church. Where's the Christianity? Where's love? Tell me, where's the love? And then are those the people that will change the world? People.
And I say, or a man of God, no Christians are more my gun and take it straight. But say, my assessment way. Maybe someone said the whole of the year, I saw a transcendent assess on there. Impact bang and the church need to make it on you. You see, we can only make there are about three things a Christopher saw them. If you look at it in the context of Africans and for that matter Ghanaians. 1, Wenyeska. 2, obesity dying. 3, otoka. And one onyema mienze we. Next say Ghana ni oye Christo no onyankopon ehira no no. The ye can say and onyame beche ye bom pai so onyame nhira. Listen to me. The success of this does not lie in that prayer equation. It's about we to understand how things work and to get to the friend saying yensa ebeso edwuma no. Wo ye edwuma ma aban. Bisa ho the whole year. Edwuma ben na wa ya etumi affect government ma revenue ebae. We a businessman bisa ho ekwan ben so na wo fa so wo short change government. Wunim, what sign so a private entrepreneur Kwa ben so na wo fa so wo sisi nipa. Mummy enye sa introspections ni na. Ni yemi se ho se ehefa ene ye de bekwa akɔwie. Enya so dem ho. God. Look, do not despise your little beginning. God is finished with you. On the way. But the most important thing, and they say, yes, senior de could do. I didn't be to me. Israel, memoir de Biadia, I know, Nano near producer about Kunkasada. No, Honet was saying, it's about hard work. These men of God should tell us. It's not about gathering us in the church. All these churches must be closed down. Ghanaians, get out there. Let's work. Near us on Maui. Our debt to GDP, Bejina saying. Finally, there is something going on. I know so information in the Mabontin say. Sa asemi ebeda ho anano ne ye ka ho asemi ye former IGP nsemi. Ebi say judge na or recuse no de enti na judge we recuse no because obi threaten judge no. Discard that news. Obi threaten judge no. And I'll tell you why. Judge no etna akunwem on Tuesday, which was on the 7th of December. Or trans no and we catch omina one back court, including the lawyer Emma IGP, former IGP said, Munko na munko hwehwe abrante kwekwa na munko serve no. Wo mo be ko so munko no. Wo man ye o. Then on the 8th of December, Ena one mo Ephraim say, wo mo pe bibi dia serve me na de be serve me. Which they should have done the same thing at court. Wo man ye. Until on the 8th, which was the Wednesday, wo mo court Tuesday, the next day which was 8th, Wednesday pepe. Then the front page of the New Crusading Guide had this there. Commando, you chere Ghana for no money. And on the beto. Now, the court was greeted with shock to see this front page paper where it said, "Dear Benti, and I'm de side and that hono. And that's hono." Now, sa paper way, judge in who hey, how? Because the judge made reference to this. Now, uko kind story what paper way more. They almost, and I can say, they published everything word for word as the judge sat in his chair. They okay be more publishing there. And I tell you, this practice way is an affront to the judicial process. And I know the lawyers can say, I'm not lying. Sa sameda kuno onuko ho a lawyer Emma apietunu. Opie ho no. Now the question is, nyoma mienu possibly say betimi esi say. Wo mo the recorder ewura ho ana so say journalists no di omachi. And omo yes I niama ho sam we. Now you know what? Ghana for mu team na mo hwe me. The question me wom ni say judge ni hu is Addy we no. The obetimi aya na say so because et say wetutu anoma ho de kwachiro bi say anoma be ni abra wa winim. Judge nem power how and also on transfer maybe on transfer be not their committee justice. Ne kura wom na maka akire mo no. Because on man be transfer ni asem later mo be cite no for there be for bias. Ma cite we did that. This was what was captured on the front page of New Crusading Guide. Okay? Na mu yes anemu we kura di good judge ni mu ase no. Na essentially affront to the judicial process no mo say no. Na nra abrantie bi o or see a friend Manasseh, whatever. No one that guards and the effrontery. No, I bet you say the see a tre how your judicial system near porous. Now, would you win to me who says, I do we are mutum recabab one time obey ye or how can say, Nene, or must say another publication be there. Yes, here the letter, my Chief Justice be about whatever. I mean, person may cause us no. That's another disgraceful, despicable beings like a nurse. I remember your nurse need a surrogate for woman or Misha San. Now, more ye way no. Need sense of shame. A nurse, I remember you are a nurse. And the surrogate if you need the sense of shame. Say, 2015, you subjected some fine judges in this country to humiliation. Go many more say. Abraham went to me mom the due process for them to answer and tell almost on the side of story. Former Chief Justice Theodora Wood, who gusa judges anymore say, Bamoshe, Muntimin Koye. Former Chief Justice Theodora Wood was accused allegedly to have received BMW 7 Series. Wait me about one table in one. Wait me about 7 Series. Yes, what just no allegation. Wait me about in one. Again, on one kasa, SIM on one investigation that bogus porous investigation at Tiger for you. On one neighbor bar Justice Ivy Heward Mills, whose father was also a Supreme Court judge. Justice Heward Mills, who we know, and all this allegation way, Mami went to me and said, Justice Heward Mills was in a relationship with former Chief Justice. And because of the treatment that Papa Nedemano entered and the Baba Ivy Heward Mills was subjected to that kind of useless investigation by Tiger Mudigu girl Ninimwasi. Meanwhile, for all the records that I have, Ivy Heward Mills was chef former Chief Justice for all the times that we know, including buying goodies for her. And so Bonia would deal on one about and or the Ivy Heward Mills, who still lives there. A take President Akufo-Addo to give some of these judges from certificates back to them, monkoye practice. Nenum nyam emram ho. Wamumpo no mo ho mon kasayo. Na mo sorry a. Kwan na mo pese mo de judges ni bi faso na bi nie. Wohu se mo to ade. Tuesday na mo call court ho na Wednesday and on the publication we mo de buy enim guasefo. Rogues, rats and ragamuffins. And mo kra mo se mo enum nyam o Ghana ha. Mo usum wenim nyam. Anas, areme you anas. Now BBC 4 catch us say try almost say purge all yourself from these allegations before ubetimi aben wo mu meboa ochina catch BBC 4 say the American and yen krento mo fa report from that. I don't care. We are monitoring you guys closely. Me say every move ye dimochi be bia mo be fe bia ye dimochi monim aguase na mo ye so shameful to every processes of good law and rule of law. And I think said the law firm Cromwell and see a titimu ye momutimi suadie. You are all claiming you know, and yet you are assuming the pool of ignorance. God have mercy. Judge, you know, beyond 13 though. The Emma judge were recused and this was on the front page of New Crusading Guide on the 8th of December. This has been Ghana Speaks with Kwekwana, brought to you by Rutai Products. Kopebinanom, malaria, typhoid, join this. Nina Bayura. I promise to be Great, we are back about 7 after the hour 10. We've done 2 legs of the journey and still we are on. Shannon say, also Santa is coming early this year. JK Industries for Neka Witcher, I say an Investments Limited. My delighted so may introduce Addy state of the art fancy ultra modern digital press. When my printed t-shirts near the amount, all the Christmas paraphernalia in Yombani at the amount. Now, some country festive season with Bombardiana no more yedman. Or say, one more yedman, XCD 200 Ghana series and not just obeying instant gift. I think one more yedman, my edman drew 1,000 Ghana series. Let us say you qualify for whooping 5% discount sharp. And to the work cancer Bombardiana, Ebra, JK, and air cancer assembly. Also contact no, it was 0593811088. I feel Joy Herbal Ledrono, so no, we also air Christmas break. Joy Herbal for say Vical 20 no. bebre egu shops bebre egu pharmacies wo bomode ana contact omo nso na yemfa dodo na amre wo 0244 585 531 and 0244 876 321 and 0242 887 996. Just gone past Spanish in Rono so almost echo Christmas break. Almost the year catcher and said there will never say there water Johnson tem obesity, bad cholesterol, hypertension, how bebre Nina no or subit mirura pharmacies ne shops Nina including Tenated Herba, Angel Herba, Kingswalk Pharmacy, Rapache Herba, Wedama Herba, Kus Pharmacy, House of Drugs, Jicard Pharmacy need dependable winner will be Spanish say contacting with 0266 114 111. Me ba my guest ni Armah Addy. I coming from CSG. You be this common. Shortly, we are just looking basically recommendations or more documents and back in Canada when we say Sikawi na ye teacher and the governments upon governments. I say when we eat you better recommendations tonight and close this explosive document. Stick and stay for the last commercial break. I'll be right back.
First clinic a sciatica expert. Sciatica no o nerves na wo to ase na fa wo siremu na fa wo nansia besi ase ho no. Se ho techema eno ene ye fa ne sciatica na etimi bubu o to ase ka wo se dwe wo sirem wo je ho ba bia enye. Na no na 21st clinic ba ye adwuma pa wo mu ye ntia basobo o magine wo Ghana ha ene amono ne enya asem ketewa. Womuji international awards ahodo womuji local awards ahodo na anu nso na womu be the only sciatica research and treatment center in Africa bibrim hano ebi ni baby a gise 21st clinic nkoa womu de bibidro ene besa o yare no masa de machine aka ho yare sabia yare bia wutimi de ko ne mama ade ba ko a wo magidi womu pa no sciatica ena stroke nso de kwa diabetes ne hypertension ni ade Ghana ha ba bia wo mo ho 0540 311 311 0540 311 311 na 21st clinic wo mo sciatica expert
beer Amen. Fufuri yedao. Me pacho balance na waka no. Fama mo wo fufuru.
Ye wo fufu tintintimo. Kenneth fufu machine. Ani ye de ye adwuma wa.
Machine pani.
Awu se fonene wo ba ye anche. Me de wo ko Kennedy digital satellite. E wada. Wo benya de wo de be wo fo fi wate. Kennedy digital satellite na me ka ho asem. Ahani o. Fufu pounding machine na me ka no. Enu nini. Wo ba Kennedy digital satellite. Nyama wo benya bia atro. Commercial fufu machine, flat screen TV, washing machine, fridges, industrial sewing machines, air conditioning, any home theaters. Woba aya wager old barn. Yawo a traffic light that's opposite Kokrobite Junction. The number no 0243 074 750. Kumasi Swa, Edu Family Plaza, Patati Swa, Adum House. Number 0244 385 128. Kennedy Digital Satellite. Aya electronics papa. Efi.
Michael, what's supporting the new system? Yeah, Mama Michael.
Pacho, what Tony near?
Let's not go be able to go in the
Me ko support my business for your new system. Hey, I saw a Michael t-shirt. Mato t-shirt. Me ko ba fan kan no. Ni t-shirt go mama.
Boss, champion, Mr. Willie one.
Okay.
Michael, I'm supporting a new system.
And your well-being.
Vico 20 is not suitable for children under 12 years of age, pregnant women, and lactating mothers. A quality product from Joy Herbal Center. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA. Now on 059-381-1088 or email us digitalpress@jkglobal.com. AK Digital Press. Everything to anything paper.
Every day be summer, it be the run away. Keeping up, I come again. Baby, I know. Oh, baby, I know. Mommy, rada.
For enquiries and bulk purchases, contact 0200-111101. Drink responsibly, not for sale to persons under 18 years, not recommended for pregnant women. This advert is FDA approved.
Don't worry about a thing. Hey, baby there. So now you're an inquiry. We are watching Jerusalem. Well, Blana me more why? Baby there. A drone any we Spanish garlic mixture. A boama moja dear full sunny. I want to pay the enemy. Collect. I feel so as also boa and will be a casa pampa. I want to trim. Obia na kuma boni peli. Obia wa Johnson tentem. Obia de na se atatai. I feel so be a slap dear adokono the pedian and nanini na. Collect.
Eja, we also ye Spanish garlic capsules. A supporting immune system.
That's all.
Shannon so edroi enye ma oba awa fa fru de oma akra no fo akra onya mfie dumienu entimi fa edroi frɛ 0266114111
FDA ahwehwɛ saa igwadi nkratoɔ yi mu agye atomu sɛ
Great, we are back and this is the Seed Show. Tonight, my guest, Armah, Addy, a lead fellow of the Education and Social Transformation Pillar at the Center for Social Justice. What is saying? Great. We're also learning some developing story. But before, Moses Berema Tete, you lost your... yes, and focus. Check the sound well quickly. Moses Berema Tete, or say, Umami Ifrimu on the 18th, and Yebesi Umami. Moses Berema Tete, you lost your mother on the 18th of this month. On behalf of the 2 TV crew, you will show, say, Bibia Nkoye Kama. We are also learning tonight with this breaking news. Also, for be or Ghana ha or ha Guinea. And a businessman be ako na sorifie so wakwakoji sika businessman or sign rent scaffolds munim scaffolds the shishe amount here the or kwakoji ni sika businessman e friend Alexis or kwaji ni sika I saw them one or koto so for pennies or kwaji ni sika no or so for bufu say I didn't over rent here for 3 days it did 7 days it is a enye ya fesikano emano no nko no baby scano crown we are told say is less than even 1,000 Ghana cedis or just around 1,000 Ghana cedis. Or this kind of on face can my no know what you a two what you so be kumpape. And the man is also a psychologist at the same time. We are following this story and we hope say in the coming days we'll give you more details about it. Or also for being Niger Gazi. Great, you'll see more developing stories. You need Ni as you saying, why is it confused? How do you see how they hear? Great. Tonight we are looking at more recommendations and conclusions about general recommendations. I believe the recommendations where it's not for just a government of today, but across.
Across, but that report is a 20-year report.
Yeah.
And what we've gleaned from it, we show a cheer. And Sawasho and him is that not so? You have to look back in order to look into the future. Yeah. And the recommendations takes effect from looking back into 20 years, what has brought us to where we are, and then we have to look forward.
Yeah.
So you look back in order to look forward. So the recommendations are mainly so that these things do not occur again. What we say in research, say zero defect.
Okay.
Or margin of error. Margin of error is between 0 and 5. If it's between 0 and 5, say, okay, then that's okay. It's acceptable. Human error comes in and all that. But the levels where we are now, it's so high, and we need to follow these recommendations. But it's important to say that, you know, usually when you do this work and you come out with recommendations, what happens? One, the recommendations can be taken wholly, that everything that you've said will be accepted. Two, the recommendations can be accepted with variations, with working on it. Say, I've accepted it. I've accepted this part, I don't accept this part. Three, the recommendations can also be accepted wholly, but they will say that it is not for immediate implementation, but you have to implement it in the future.
In the near future.
And then four, you can reject the recommendations completely. So it's all got to do with leadership call, how leadership wants to pursue this. And I can say that the CSJ meeting the chief of staff, and the interest in this report is so high, and we hope that she'll be able to work with it. The CSJ also met the OSP, as we call it, Office of the Special Prosecutor, and a representative was present with the meeting with the chief of staff. And we also hope that they will also be able to take it. And they said they're going to form an inter-ministerial committee because you want to see the ministries in which, I mean, part of the discussions with the chief of staff, the recommendation, the ministries in which the judgment debts are so high, so that there will be an inter-ministerial committee to look into the reasons why judgment debts always come and hugely from those ministries, so that together we'll be able to cut a path for this not to happen in this magnitude. The magnitude in which 2 cities become millions and where few thousands becomes millions should never again happen going forward.
Great. Let's read some portions of the document that says that this report reviewed judgment debts payments made from public funds on behalf of the state from 2000 to 2019. These judgment debts arose from alleged contractual breaches, failure to promptly pay compensations due to compulsory and land acquisition by the state government, and alleged tortious statutory breaches committed by public officials in the course of their public duties. So indeed, the analysis shows that judgment debts awarded against the state continues to persist. The judgment debts occur due to negligence, 1, blatant disregard for public procurement laws, 3, legal abrogation of contracts by public officials in their line of duty. It is important to note that the issue of the judgment debts has occurred under every government, while the other categories of judgment debts, failure to promptly pay compensations due to compulsory land acquisitions by the state governments, and alleged tortious statutory breaches committed by public officials in the course of line of their duties, occur less frequently, and in total account for about 27% of the total in 2019. Equivalent terms, major judgment debts arise from contractual breaches, usually tend to follow political transitions, and accounts for about 73% of the total in 2019 equivalent terms.
Okay, so I mean, the bottom part, the 73% of total in 2019 equivalent terms means that the judgment debts that were paid in 2019, 73% of that arose out of what? Contractual breaches, where we go into contract and then we breach the contract. We are not, government on its part is not able to fulfill its part of the contractual breaches. And that alone accounted for 73% in
So as a state, we can look at some of the exclusivities and deal with it.
Exactly.
Create a stopgap, reduce it if not.
Good. Exactly that is it. So when you go further and you look at the recommendations for the legal aspects, where we talk about the Attorney General's office being sure that those who do the contract are very well conversant, you know.
So let me ask you, to reduce this whole stuff, the possibility of reducing it, it is there, is it not?
Oh, yeah, the possibility is there.
Is it not?
It is. The possibility is highly there. Because, I mean, it's a contract, and we all know the term that goes
So let's also gauge, is it about a political commitment, or is it about institutional failure or breakdown or weakness?
I mean, it's all.
Where do you draw the line?
It's all part of it. Because if you talk about the institutional failure, you have the institutions existing continually, but you have the personalities, as in the political personalities, that makes the decision changing with time. Okay, so that if the institutions are there, those are what you call the statutory breaches.
Sure.
Those ones. The institutions are there. I mean, if you say Ministry of Finance is there.
Is there.
But maybe somebody entered a contract at the time, the one who took the decision. I mean, a certain political time.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That decisions are made. So that again, further, we're saying that if we are minded as a country, that all these losses affect us as a whole, then we must look at how we enter into some of those contracts and how we abrogate some of those contracts. Because you will see that some of the contracts are abrogated when maybe a new administration takes over.
Yeah.
And then he abrogates the contract that has been signed previously without cognizance to the fact that the payment will come from the state. Because once you abrogate it, like the GCPP, which is abrogated, we are going to pay as a state.
$170 million.
We are going to pay as a state. What goes into it? What due diligence went into the abrogation? And also that sometimes where contracts are awarded when a particular term of government is leaving office, then you award a very huge contract. Leaving it on maybe the next government that succeeds is also a problem. And all this over the 20-year period has occurred between the two parties. Because in the 20-year period that we studied from 2000 to 2019, it's only been NDC, MPP. So it's the cause.
It's the cause. Now let's check some portions. It's the evidence from the review clearly shows that contractual breaches that occur due to political transitions and sheer negligence or non-adherence to timely execution of government business account for most of the colossal sums that state has had to pay in addressing the recurring issue of judgment debts. Would require a combination of strategies geared towards improvement in the state efficiency in executing its business on behalf of the public. We identify contracting as an integral part of doing business in the public sector that could involve private parties and other public agencies. However, unlike contracting among two private parties, contracts involving the government and its agencies differ because of political transitions that are likely to occur over the term of the contract. What does this mean?
That's it. I mean, all the contracts occurs within a certain political administration. Okay?
Yeah.
Within a certain political administration, either in the NDC administration or the MPP administration, contracts occur. So that being minded or cancelling a contract within a certain particular administration becomes what? Problem. You say, however, unlike contracting among two private parties, contracts involving the government and its agencies differ because of political transitions. You get it?
Yeah.
If it's two private parties, it's different. They can go and resolve their issue. But within government and a private party, within a particular political administration, you know, it's what the problems are. And it's perceived as if it is a way of punishing the other. That, oh, we'll do it so that this person comes to inherit it. We'll cancel it so that it becomes the problem of the other person. Okay, and that is what has caused us. The problem is within the political space.
Look at this one. It says that thus, contracts involving government and agencies present different sets of issues that stakeholders must consider before they are awarded. Since no blueprint currently exists for enhancing the state efficiency in the execution of its business, the following approaches and strategies that are based on standard practices are recommended. Before we go to that, explain this portion that I read.
Good. A blueprint is like a goalpost.
Okay.
It guides you that. And look, if you are playing football, to say that Mr. Annan has won or Nia has won, this is the pole that your ball need to enter into. Okay, and we're saying that in the absence of that there is no clear blueprint. I mean, generally, you say that contracts have terms that they follow. Okay, they have terms and conditions that they follow. But to say that there is no single document that says that if this ministry is going to into a contractual agreement, these are the things that it should watch out to. These are the things that it watch out to. The CSJ has given, I mean, some recommendations. What we're saying that should be reforms of key institutional arrangements in the execution of the government business. To say that there's no poll that you say when you score into, you've scored. So it's like everybody's playing. I mean, if we're playing football and there's no poll to score into, it means at the end of the day, I cannot claim to have scored you, you cannot claim to have scored me, because there's no poll that we have to play into. So that's what we're saying, that in the absence of that, because they go into the contract not guided by the do's and don'ts. All they see is that, oh, this is a viable project. Let's go into it. If we do it, it benefits Ghanaians. Okay? But we don't see that if it doesn't benefit Ghanaians, what is the consequence that will be to even the one who enters the contract? Okay? That's what
So
it is.
now, let's go to the specific recommendations your document professes. Is that one, reforms of key institutional arrangements in the execution of government business, enforce strict compliance to the national procurement laws. Unauthorized deviations at all levels should carry hefty consequence for the responsible public officials.
Strict compliance to national procurement laws. I mean, we have the laws that specifies how we can procure projects by government. Okay? So if the laws are there, why should we not adhere to the laws? So here we're saying that unauthorized deviations at all levels should carry hefty consequences. Which means that if there are procurements, if there are projects that government enters into, the ministry in question that enters into that project, if they deviate from what the law specifies, there must be hefty consequences. That if it is your cost, and I'm sure that is.
And here, your report is specifically mentioning public officials who.
Yeah, but they enter into the contract on behalf of the state. And I'm sure
the
that's
chief
why
directors and whatnot.
Good. That's why the chief of staff is saying that there must be an interministerial to ensure. Okay.
Now check this one. It says, ensuring that qualified legal experts who understand the murky nature of contracting involving government are engaged when committing to contractual obligations. Review, enhance, and enforce international best practices in public financial management.
Good. So the first one, engaging legal experts. I mean, it's for the state. So if it's, all we're saying that if it's for the purpose of maybe a contract by Ministry A or Ministry B, and the ministry feels that the contract is so complex that its legal department is not able to handle it, or there are legal experts in contractual issues out of those ministries, they should be able to engage them, knowing that if it goes bad, it's a cost to the state. So engage them. And public financial management, of course, best practices means that, I mean, if you spend what you have, is that not so? Sometimes, I'm sure some of these contracts are entered into with the expectation of some money to come in. And therefore, you go into that agreement. If that money does not come in, and then the party to whom the contract is given starts work, and there's no financial backing, or the finance do not come for him to be paid, maybe after he has finished the work, or done maybe different phases of the work, then that also becomes a problem. So what is the best standard for international financial management? I'm sure you and I, when we go to buy Usakoko and Kose by the roadside, if you want to spend 5 cedi, you make sure that 5 cedi is in your pocket before you spend. Yeah. You don't buy and then you sit down and you finish drinking and you say, oh, I've called Kwame, is on his way bringing the money. And then Kwame never gets there. Of course, the cocoa seller will call people and they're going to attack you. So what's the best practice? Spend what you have. Make sure you have the means before you spend into the contract.
It says that the involvement of key stakeholders before any government enters into a contract with a private party on behalf of the state, in particular ensuring all key stakeholders have oversight and input before execution of contracts. And it continues here. Establishing an inter-party framework for managing contractual obligations of government during and after political transitions. It is crucial that all stakeholders, regardless of political party affiliations, commit to minimize contractual breaches resulting from political transitions. In particular, the framework must ensure that stakeholders act in the collective interest and not in their self-interest.
Beautiful. So
what are you trying to tell us?
Okay, so the second part talks about the inter-party this thing. Knowing that from the 20-year study, the judgment debt has arisen from both political parties over the 20 years. So in an inter-party arrangement where the outgoing party has entered into certain contractual agreements, okay, they need to explain detail. Sometimes the thing will happen and say, oh, you didn't consult adequately.
Yeah.
But we say that it must be purposeful.
Yeah.
That before a succeeding party or government goes to abrogate a contract of the previous government, it should sit with that people so that there is that explanation.
Because fundamentally, I think problem ne kese no anu no. NDC for no buy MPP project near cancer ni na. But bebre na so be hwe ne se sika no. Sika yakobo obusia na de yo.
That's the point.
Coming from European Union, coming from where ne ya cancer no kwa.
That's the point.
Then the other side no so ba almost so mu ye den hospital bia ya crash no.
That's the problem. So sit with the outgoing party or the party that has lost and then come to an understanding of all those contracts that are entered into where there are difficulties, engage them. You see, that's what they call engaging, the political party. So it doesn't become like a political rancor or a political fighting. You did it to your benefit and we have cancelled it. Let's see the country as the unique factor.
As a unique factor. Now, here comes maintenance of a government-wide database. For all major contracts, and the audit service must review these contracts for evidence of sound legal advice prior to entering into the contracts and the status of implementation of each contract as part of the entity audit process. Triggers on the database should allow stakeholders to manage the high-value contracts. Now, empower the audit service to review the systems and processes pertaining to contract management across government sector. You
know that, there must be a database. There shouldn't be any contract hidden in secrecy because all the contracts that are entered into on behalf of the state is for the benefit of the people, Mr. Anand. So if you are buying this pen for the benefit of Ghanaians, Ghanaians should understand it. Everybody should understand it. So it must be
there must be transparency.
There must be transparency. Everybody should be able to assess whatever has gone into this, knowing that this is not a private thing, this is not a hidden thing, but it's for the state.
Whether it was a competitive bidding or was sole sourcing or whatever, we must know.
We must know so that whatever goes in there must be audited for us to know whether it is value for money or not. And if you look at the second point which you read, which is empower the audit service.
Exactly.
We all know that the audit service should not be politicized. So that the audit service are so natural, so neutral, so that in their neutrality, they must be empowered to be able to process everything pertaining to contract management across government sectors. Okay.
Ensuring that institutional mechanism exists for recovery of public funds when financial losses occur due to negligence blatant disregard for public procurement laws, illegal abrogation of contracts, corrupt activities by public officials in their line of duty. For example, in all of the Auditor General's report review from 2013-2019, we identified that the Auditor General made several recommendations for the recovery of millions of Ghana cedis lost to the state by public officials. The question is, which institutional mechanisms exist to ensure that the lost public funds are recovered, or the public officials causing financial losses to the state are held accountable for their actions? In that regard, we recommended that the Auditor General's annual report should contain a review of the progress of implementation of previous audits report. Outstanding repeated comments should be highlighted, and the rates of audits recommendation resolution scored. Such rates of resolution scored should be a key performance measure for heads of government entities. This is serious recommendation.
It is very serious, Mr. Anand. It's very serious because we're saying that nobody is held accountable for all these huge sums of money that are lost to the state. Meanwhile, we are able to find out who caused it.
So, Nima,
where the thing has gone to.
Just a question here.
Yeah.
So, is this report basically telling us, with all the 20-year review, Mwintimi report BI capture some top government officials through dubious whatever
negligence or whatever they've done.
Ya say sika ya chi womutu mu ya punish them.
No.
Oh gosh.
Okay. No, because they will tell you that it is in a line of duty. But that's what we're saying, that there must be, that mechanism must be there to hold those people accountable. You know, I mean, there has been the issue of financial loss to the state and all those things. Some cases have gone to court, some people have been in prison and all that, but those are not judgment debt issues. The judgment debts are caused by people.
Listen to this one. It says individuals who are found to have deliberately embarked on a mission to defraud the state, or through whose carelessness or negligence cause financial loss, should be made to account for the loss. Such persons should suffer criminal or civil action.
Yes, they must be put before the court. If your actions shows, I mean, negligence means that you can't say you do not know. So whether intentional or unintentional, because once you go into that contract, you need to seek advice. You need to give to the experts. And if you gave it to the lawyers and they did it and they did not do their work very well, they must also be questioned to why they didn't do it well. So whoever has done that to cause those huge losses, judgment debt losses to the state, must be made to suffer criminal or civil actions.
Great.
It must be put before the court.
I see. Now, this one says the adoption of human resource management practice that ensure hired public officials adhere to the ethics of governance. A judgment debt management policy should be formulated with an interministerial unit comprising the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General, formed to oversee the effective management of management debt. The judgment debt management policy should provide guidelines, including oversight approval for the abrogation of government contracts where such abrogations are thought to be the supreme interest of the state. A documented cost-benefit analysis of such abrogations should be done prior to the final decision to terminate.
Beautiful. So this is where the Chief of Staff has dwelled on mainly and said she's going to ensure that this inter-ministerial distance is formed. And we are very hopeful that if it's able to be established, it's going to be a turnaround for the issues of judgment debt.
Does it look like the Chief of Staff is walking that talk? Do you
I don't have any reason to believe that she will not do it. I mean, she has all the power.
Now.
Oh, the meeting was just less than a month.
Because this is very explosive and we need to, see a bogan and see
Sure. The meeting was just less than a month ago.
Okay.
And she promised that they're going to do it. So maybe we have to give ourselves some time to come back.
Madam Chief of Staff, but yes, let's say report we are told you have a copy. Try as much as possible. Say, we have to curtail this thing, reduce it, or if you like, even stop it. We can. We can stop it.
Yeah, so we trusting that. I mean, that meeting was very well represented from the Ministry of Finance, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, the Chief of Staff. I mean, all well, then she promised they're going to set up that, and we want to believe that if that is done as an oversight responsibility to ensure that there is a close eye into what goes into judgment debts and all that, that will begin
this country millions.
Yes, it will be a U-turn to all the problems that we have. So this point is very well taken by Chief of Staff.
But we have to commend CSG. We have to commend the Center for Social Justice. We have to commend this office for doing this. Look, we have, I don't know, but civil society group of more Ghana, but I think this group have done well, led by Dr. Soji Tete, Armah, Addy,
and Dr. Blansing.
Dr. Blansing, yes,
who
Dr.
leads
Blansing.
the finance.
Yes. You've done a great job.
I mean,
this platform commends these guys for such a colorful work done. Now, Neil, look at this one. Introduction of result-oriented approaches to budgeting and management in the execution of business by the government and its agencies. Reforming, strengthening governance with an emphasis on increasing transparency and accountability of the government and its agencies to the state around spending. I say anything.
That's it. So transparency, as you've said earlier on, getting the right human resources.
Yeah.
Sometimes who are the people we employ and entrust into those positions of decision making? Are they people who have the qualification that it takes? Okay? And sometimes that's why they say that, look, go out there, look for the people.
Yeah.
I mean, lots of Ghanaians are giving scholarships to go abroad and study, some PhDs and everything. And we don't really track to see whether they come back to put what they've gone to learn to the aid of development. They get a scholarship, they go. Whether they come back or they don't come back, so be it. But there must be that tracking system. I'm saying this because of the human resource base. Because once we have the right human resource base, once we know that those who went on the scholarship went with state funding, and therefore their knowledge should benefit the state, it should be apolitical.
Yeah.
Look for the human resource. Look for the people who can do the work. Not necessarily party coloration. Yes, party is good. You say yes, they worked hard and they must be rewarded. It's good. But where the human resource needed means that the person do not necessarily ought to belong to a political party in order to be taken in. We need to do it for the benefit of the country.
For the benefits of the country, all right. Mini Niyama air all the way to 11 so we can exhaust this document. But Shano Suzem, o SIM card no be register now be to me use in the coming days, months, as next year, no, or possibility that we to me lose chip and so if we say one correct registration, but Shano to register no say dial 404 hash and follow the prompt. Now, who dial 404 hash? You'll be required to send the following details: Ghana card, PIN number, Ibibisa, surname, first name, date of birth, sex, or your bana bema. Ibisa ni na obe follow sa procedure way na fi work the nearest mobile network agent or customer care obetimi ahwe biometric details no wa capture or capture we are say don't forget the kwa bomodin na fa friend digital address and fako no mfani na enka mfanye adwuma now betimi so contact your service provider 100 and also say National Communication Authority on toll-free number 0800-110-622 and now obe visit NCA social media page or Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn. NCA's website on www.nca.org.gh. Now one more ashema koye. Afi uhia everything about electronics and electrical gadgets in the coming days as the Christmas approaches. Between abasa uhia television, I can see 19. Smart and Care, we have fridges, 90. 500, 100 to about 900 liters. We have full machine, air conditions, of course, microwaves, iron kettles, blenders, cookers, and every brave. We eat more government, what they say, what they pay slip, never quite all right? Now, 2 warehouses, what 2 regional capitals, your wager, Accra, your wager, Old Barrier near the traffic lights. So, in Cranfobit, me afraid. Kennedy for all the electrical appliances on 0243 074 750 or 0244 385 136. Kumasi, your family plaza building on the first floor near Boss FM. Uko Patasi and so say a police depot on Kennedy Junction, Kumasi, Ubenya. Kumasi for Befre 0207 653 031 and 0244 385 128 no edin komo emanioma etimi akoyi kama or the amount afi yemra quickly ne yemhwe Vigdan Healthcare and so a liver and kidney foundational Dr. Victor Nanada Ankwaya Bo Nkaya Sebra. Symptoms of yarene can be liver, fatty liver, kidney stones, kidney cyst, hepatitis B or C, infections are of sexually transmitted infertility, diabetes, hypertension, prostate enlargements, menstrual cramps, and all kinds of conditions. Now, on no machines are who do I see so na ya hwehwe ni peduanim na ehu yare no na ya diagnose ni the amount. Free screening hepatitis B, you be screening am ye news ka na ya ma ehu eduru. Sa hospital we be Monday to Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Your Spinters Road, Coca-Cola Roundabout, Fidelity Bank in China or Standard Chartered Bank, and so on. Contact Vigdan in terms of 0549 951211 and 050 2661346. The WhatsApp line is 027 3131059. Afini, let's look at what your report described as generic solutions, legal dimensions, and it reads. Or said a special prosecutor should independently investigate all the cases of judgment deaths in the Fourth Republic with the intent of establishing criminal liability of political office holders and public office holders and proceeding accordingly to prosecute offenders in court or of competent jurisdiction. 2, ensure that only trained or expert lawyers are allowed to prosecute cases. The practice of sending lawyers who are either not aware of the cases or ill-prepared should cease. In the instance of lack of experienced lawyers, the office could outsource some of the works to those who have the competence to address the matter. A medium to long-term plan to recruit and train more lawyers to support the Attorney General's office should be considered. What you're saying?
That's it. So the 2 things. The judgment
death. The OSP. Or a copy of this, right?
Yeah, sure. A copy was
the current one.
Yeah, sure.
I see.
And there was a representative even with us. They have a copy. Okay. So two key institutions are responsible for this. I mean the legal dimension, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, and then the Attorney General's office. So the Special Prosecutor to prosecute cases that comes before them, okay, all judgment deaths that happen. And then it's the Attorney General who goes to court when it comes up in the process, when the government have been sued in judgment death. So we're saying that in instances where lawyers go to court and they are not fully abreast with the case, you know, they've not spent time to study, to understand, should be a thing of the past. We need more qualified people. And even when they are not there, there shouldn't be, you don't force the limitations. You can reach out to more experienced lawyers who can see to it. Because once you sit down and you don't prosecute your case very well, the judgment will be given. And once it's given, we'll have to pay for it. So if it's about the competence of lawyers who go to the court to speak for the state, let's get them. Let's get them. Don't say, this is what we have and this is what we'll use. Even if they are in private practice. And you need to engage them in order to ensure that the cases are very well defended in court. Okay? It must be done. And there are some that even goes to court, but, I mean, good negotiation can take the case out of court and then you go into what they call negotiated settlement and discuss it out of court. And usually when you've done that, you see in the case of Rockshare, where $70 million ought to be reduced to $35 million, it was a negotiated settlement out of court.
And we have paid.
Okay? And we have paid, yes. But you say that, yes, we paid far less than what was awarded by the court. Okay? So I mean, competent and very experienced lawyers must be used.
Must be used. Now, your report also makes some recommendation for the Attorney General's office. A, embark on a wholesale reform, which should look at the overall vision and mission while addressing matters such as strategy, structure, systems, and processes across board. B, have a strategic report with clearly defined outcomes regarding the reduction of adjournment debt. A dedicated department whose singular aim is to arrest errant contracts and, when necessary, be empowered to negotiate on behalf of the government. Have a government department-wide case management system which is plunged into the court system to inform lawyers of their impending cases. And D, clearly set out and be measured by key performance indicators which touch and concern judgment debts, among other things. Have a performance appraiser which measures and punish loss to the state. Then the last one, be subject to a systems review and audits by an internal party, such as the Audit Service, which holds departments and individuals accountable for loss.
Okay, so this all dwells on the Attorney General's office.
So the Attorney General should be aware of this.
Yeah, should be aware of this and should know what is happening. I mean, they would say they know, but there are times that you go to court where maybe there is a case of the state versus the other person, and then maybe the lawyers from the Attorney General's office are not present in court, or they do not show up for obvious reason, or they will say the document has not been given to them, etc. We say anything that will hinder the prosecution of the case by the Attorney General's office must be made available, so that they don't come and say, we didn't know there was a case in court, we were not aware, the documents did not get to us in time, we did not get the ministries involved to give us information, we're not collaborating.
There's always some excuse, though.
Oh, as for the excuse, once you start on excuse, you'll find 1 million. You'll find 1 million. I mean, we all have excuse not to do what we ought to do. But so that's what we're saying, that we must be vigilant and ensure that whatever is required, the office has it. Okay.
The office has it. We wrap it up under 1 minute. Now, Radler is a lemon-flavored, refreshing alcoholic beverage drink. Me recommended the amount this festive season for parties, for all the programs. But more than alcohol, it's recommended for 18 years and above, not below. Now, for enquiries, some pet drinks, if you have a friend number, 020 01 11101 020 01 101. I shall say Food and Drugs Authority for certify very efficacious drink. Franco Trading Enterprise, unscrupulous persons. Amudia grow on Facebook. Facebook is also number about 100,000 still going. Now, some countries iOS Franco Trading agent the same. Instagram and then the Momo Pay code 189480. Bra na yemedi trade in genuine Samsung, Nokia, iPhones, Franco Trading TVs, air conditions, 2.5 horsepower, 20 horsepower. Baby, afi oba and your man about Tony Nancy be deliver at the Armah office. Headquarters, and I say, yes, your head office and I want the Brack opposite Roxy Cinema. Contact Air Franco, it was 055 810 6241 and 0302 225-651. Ubetimuzo reaching of francotrading.com. Franco Trading or still a phone. Papa Fini. Ni give us a minute's wrap up of this whole document.
I mean, by our conduct to all these judgment debt issues, it looks like nobody is held accountable for what brings us to where we get to.
Yeah.
You see, judgment, when you talk about judgment debts, they are usually awards that have been given.
Yeah.
But as a state, we must be more conscious that they do not even occur. Because if they do not occur, then it means that it will not be awarded.
Yeah.
So how do we peg those loopholes to ensure that those seepages and all does not even pass through. Okay, if we are saying that we cannot do it, then it goes to emphasize the point that many say, that some tends to benefit from it, and therefore it should be allowed to happen. But if we are concerned, if we are minded as a state that we're losing so much money, we can be used for our development in education, health, road construction, etc., then we are saying that that philosophy of where nobody seems to be held accountable must be a thing of the past. And that going forward, we must see, if it ever happens, we must see people being held accountable. If they are sleeping on the job, they must be made to wake up.
Great guy. Wabinyo ni Armah Addy, I a lead fellow of the Education and Social Transformation Pillar at the Center for Social Justice. My message is meeting me. 1-2 second text messages. Kakrebia Musumutu. Kwabra 1 just second. I say, where a pastor with a gun in the church? Babsko can echo. All these pastors and prophets are just liars and fake. Mercy Edu. As a pastor, my question is, why do you even talk about politics? Shaded, Nekawe. Another one there. So it is Pastor Sam Kwanchankra who has the key. Mark Apia. Until Africans respect each other, the whites would always disrespect us. Ato Kwamena. Later on, all those people would say someone is taking their blessings from them. Poor Cheme. Or see, we are our own enemies. God have mercy on us. Addison. After putting gun on our head to accept Christ, this is what it turns us to. Makusi, if you come to Africa and Ghana in particular, the juju is killing us. Either Poku, most of our professors are not smart. They allow manipulation from the white people, Felix Udum. How do you discover something that was already there before you get there? Kwama and Ekwe. To the European, he was the first to discover America. They always twist history to favor them. Kingsley Spencer. Some of our colonial masters were wicked. That is why we are all suffering. Okay, so we have all these good black people, and one wonders why we are suffering as black persons. Beatrice Mensa. So don't Ghana have good herbal medicine doctors? Why do the government want Europe for vaccines? Ghanaian bloggers, you people can lie, Papa always lies. The Kweku Anan is dead. No, I'm not. Also, the black believe everything bias and bogus things they read from the whites Concord. I know this history of civilization from the 1970s when I was in the middle school in Ghana as Roman Hale, Samuel Owusu. Okay, also, but do you know that the black man always look down to themselves, Franklin? A message is you Dawson. Say Kweku. All good things are attributed to the white people and bad things to the black. Why is that so? Fifi and Sane Kanwe. Kweku, all good things. All right, Makanwe. So good evening, Kweku. I watch you live from Spain. Thank you for a good job. Well done, Kweku. And I continue to expose the bad works for NDC liars and propaganda. Good evening. I'm watching you live from UK, Africa. All right, maybe see I say, as of when it be brain, Muslim war power. To say they're Kwanchan Cracking. Say the presidency. Next presidency, I dare him go and cure COVID patients. Monko cure them. That's all the answer for you, and that's my challenge. Monday, next week Monday, I'm sure so we have to come and close the show. Yabreu, Jack, director of TV. Me, I'm tired. Yabreu, we have to go and rest. Moi, multi-wa, moisi key power, key woman semno. Monko COVID patients, no, we hear ya. Sa monko kwa sa omayare. Se mo to me. These lies, mischievous religious propaganda must be stopped. And we'll hands all of you until Mube Jai. Ghanaians, mo share, mo mama niso, and share my genkwa, your bow we are sending no mieno. Namoma, our diligence, ni empire and yentientia, a winyankoponi. And Sassi empire yentientia was often anymore. They have nothing to give. They have nothing. Womudu minu mieno, sikakeke. This has been the C Show tonight, of course, brought to you by dozens of companies and able produced by great guys, Fatao Zanze, George Sarkodie, great guys, Safo Ekahon, and of course, Emmanuel Adomaku Kwesi Nensen, Robert Barfor Fen. Yes, MCR, I salute you. Director of TV, Kenneth Tichi in Japan, Kobe Scratch, editors from Wamanone, Gaji, So we were a cream, I'm sure. And then we have George Neo Kainte, and then the big boy Fifi himself, all in the United States, and Director of Research, Ekonaba Kwekubwatan with Israel, Tel Aviv. So same time, Monday, we come your way with yet another explosive program. Because Monday, Addy BBC waha, minima de cro. All that you have to do is to join the show. Of course, now the Christian is over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, same time, 3 p.m. Monday program will be repeated on Saturday, and the program will be repeated on Saturday, same time, 3 p.m. You can join the show. Now, I should say the Sikoi. Meeting has been Kwekuan, and of course, this has been the Seed Show. Tonight, have a good evening.